as a coach, there's nothing you would appreciate more than it's one thing if you're preaching to a whole team and you don't feel connected to them. When you've got guys on your team that step up and back you up and can inspire, help get the rest of the guys going. And those are two guys, every March, heroes are made. And these are things. I just got my jersey hung up 50 years later because of the success we had with my team. I had a great teammates. And just the fact that our team did well, 50 years later, we're still celebrating that. And that's what tournaments like, that's what post game, that's what winning a March does for you. And these guys realize they won't get another chance. A lot of these guys have been playing organized basketball, high-level competitive basketball their whole life. So they're young men. They're only in their 20s or early 20s. They may never be able to do that again. Some of these guys may go on. I don't know that we have anybody that's going to be in the NBA. Some of these guys probably get a chance to go play in Europe or other places. Mm-hmm. But as far as meaningful basketball games, I don't know if there's anything more exciting than your high school term. When you're a player and you're in high school, that is the most competitive. You for some reason you hate the guys that are living 10 minutes down the street from you. They're a whole different tribe of people, and those games are everything to you. Those high school games. Same thing in college. You don't know your teammates as well. You didn't grow up with them. You don't know the guys in the opposing teams as well. But that's what makes college basketball such a great sport and so entertaining to watch. You realize that these guys have only a limited amount of time to be successful. Some of their careers are coming to them. NBA players, they could play 20 years, some of these guys, and it's just another season, and that goes on. But to have guys that are able to maybe make a splash for themselves, make memories for themselves that they will remember. Believe me, they will talk about these games, and whether they win or lose, they will talk about this game the rest of their life.
Well, if the Blue Demons are able to pull off the upset, and it would be a monster upset tonight, here's why. If you look at the history of DePaul and Creighton in Big East play, the Blue Jays have a 25-1 advantage over the Blue Demons since Creighton joined the Big East. The only DePaul victory in this series since Creighton joined the Big East, 2015 in Omaha, a 70-60 victory. Remember Forrest Robinson, the slender big man, had a career-high 20 points in that game. 23 of the last 25 games in this series have been decided by double figures. Before we get to the starting lineups, let's pause now for the playing of the national anthem here at Madison Square Garden.
Whose broad strokes and bright stars thrill the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets rocked the night, the bombs bursting in air gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and
Jill Joya performing the national anthem tonight here at Madison Square Garden. Alongside DePaul great Dave Corzine, Zach Zaidman with you high above the court as we get set for the quarterfinal round of the 2025 Big East Tournament. The Blue Demons here after knocking off Georgetown in the opening round last night. DePaul taking on the number 2 seed Creighton. The Blue Demons have won 3 in a row, while Creighton has won 4 of its last 5. The Blue Jays were picked to finish second in the Big East preseason coaches poll. Creighton has finished first or second in the Big East in 4 of the last 6 seasons. DePaul is trying to stop a 22-game losing streak to these Creighton Blue Jays. Let's get to the starting lineup. We'll start with Chris Holtman's Blue Demons, a record of 14-18 this season. 3-guard rotation featuring Layden Blocker as the point man, sophomore transfer from Arkansas, who had 16 points and 6 assists last night against Georgetown. He's joined in the backcourt by C.J. Gunn, DePaul's leading scorer, 6'7" junior from Indianapolis, a transfer from Indiana, who averaged nearly 14 points per game and 5 rebounds per contest during the regular season in conference action. And the third man in the backcourt is the graduate transfer from UIC, 6'5" Isaiah Rivera, who has generally played good ball against Creighton, including 18 points in the last meeting in late February in Omaha. Up front for DePaul, the senior leader from Chicago, Troy D'Amico, 6'7", transferred from Southern Illinois, and as Dave mentioned, he had 11 points in last night's win over the Hoyas. Rounding out the first 5 for the Blue Demons is J.J. Traynor, 6'9", senior transfer from Louisville, who is averaging about 6 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per contest, but he's been playing big lately, a big part of this 3-game winning streak. Now, let's go to Greg McDermott and the Creighton Blue Jays. They come in with a record of 22-9, 15-5 in Big East play. They had a first-round bye. The starting backcourt features Stephen Ashworth, a 6-foot senior from Alpine, Utah, who averaged nearly 17 points per game, good for 7th in the league in scoring, and number 1 in assists at 7 per game. He's also a sharpshooter, 4th in three-point percentage in the Big East at nearly 40%. He's joined in the backcourt by Jemiah Neal, 6'5" senior from Toledo, Ohio, a transfer from Arizona State, who averages more than 11 points per game, 6 rebounds, and nearly 4.5 assists per contest. Up front for Creighton, Jason Green, a 6'8" sophomore forward from Omaha. Jackson McAndrew, a 6'10" freshman from Minnesota. Big East all-freshman team member. He averaged nearly 8 points per game and 4.5 rebounds per contest. And then there's Mr. Everything, a man that few people can relate to, but the guy sitting next to me, a 7-footer by the name of Dave Corzine, he can relate a little bit. Talking about Ryan Kolkbrenner, 7'1", 270-pound senior from outside St. Louis. Number 2 in the Big East in scoring, averaging 19.5 points per game, 9 rebounds per contest. That's good for number 1 in the league. And nearly 3 blocks per contest, also good for number 1 in the league. Kolkbrenner had 26 double-doubles this season, including the last time he saw DePaul. He always does a number on the Blue Demons, had 25 points and 13 rebounds in the victory in Omaha in late February. 10 career games for Kolkbrenner against the Blue Demons. He's averaging 15.5 points per game against DePaul, 8+ rebounds per contest, and more than 2 blocks per game. He is a 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. The only other man in the history of the Big East that can say that, Patrick Ewing. It's quite some company.
He had against us, he has against everybody in the nation. He is the heart and soul of this Creighton team, and he does such a great job. It was a man against boys in that game in Omaha, and still we only lost by 10 points. We didn't have N.J. Benson in that game. Now, you saw the impact that N.J. Benson had yesterday, 18 points in 18 minutes. His impact tonight's game may be more on the defensive end against a guy like Kolkbrenner's not fouled out of a game in his whole career at Creighton. So you're not really going to be able probably to take the ball to him and get him in foul trouble as we did with Fielder in the game yesterday. But still, N.J. Benson's got a bigger body. We had J.J. Traynor on him in that last game, and really J.J. Traynor just did not have the size or weight for that matchup.
The Blue Demons come out wearing their traditional royal blue road uniforms with the white numerals and lettering outlined in scarlet, horizontal red stripes on the sides of the jerseys and the shorts. Creighton wearing white uniforms with blue lettering and numerals and blue piping down the sides of the jerseys and the shorts. And it's kind of designed in the shape of the beak of a blue jay. I can't quite
Okay.
describe it, but I think that's the right terminology. If you can picture that, just a beak going down a hill, and that's the
A
kind of
beak
piping,
going downhill.
right? Like if you don't want to see any kind of bird looking at you from that angle. It's kind of a fierce thing. The officials tonight, Pat Driscoll, Jeff Clark, and Brent Hampton. The Blue Demons looking to win a fourth consecutive ball game. Just to put things into perspective, the last time the Blue Demons won 3 consecutive games in the Big East before what transpired last night, March of 2022. And if the Blue Demons can win 4 in a row, we're talking about a big wow, because they haven't beaten Creighton since 2015. DePaul has dropped 22 consecutive games against these Blue Jays. If the Blue Demons can knock off the Blue Jays tonight, they're going to be talking about the Blue Demons, not just here at Madison Square Garden, but across the country. It'll be quite the upset. J.J. Traynor will jump tip for DePaul. Ryan Kolkbrenner will do the honors for Creighton as we get set for the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. The Blue Demons have never played in the Big East semis. They can get there with a victory tonight. Official Jeff Clark at center court throws the ball up in the air, and DePaul controls the tap. The quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament underway. Blue Demons going from left to right from our vantage point. Troy D'Amico's got the ball, left elbow. Now on the right elbow, it's Traynor. Hands off to Leighton Blocker right of the circle. Now it's D'Amico for 3. He misses left of the circle, and the rebound goes to Jason Green of Creighton. Quickly into the front court. Ashworth has it off to the right. He's right of the lane. Pull up, jump. The 2 doesn't go. Ball batted up in the air. Tracked down by Rivera. Lead feed knocked away by McAndrew, but the Demons come up with a loose ball. D'Amico's got it across the line, left to right. Now C.J. Gunn works it. Left wing stops at the free throw line. Pull up, jump. Back rim doesn't go. McAndrew the rebound for Creighton. Into the hands of Ashworth. He flies into the front court. Now left corner Green. Loops a pass inside Kolkbrenner. Left of the lane. Checked by Traynor. Kolkbrenner backs in. Kick out McAndrew. A right side 3. Back rim no. Rebound taken down by J.J. Traynor for DePaul. A minute gone by. Still no score. DePaul and Creighton in the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. Demons with a basketball. Blocker's got it off to the left. He drives to the free throw line. Gives right side for Gunn. Shakes the shoulders. Diagonal pass up high to Blocker. Loops a pass to Traynor. Free throw line extended to the left. Traynor puts it on the floor. Right side pass. Rivera at the top of the key. He steps back. 1-2 on the way from up top. It goes down. And DePaul strikes first. A 2-0 lead over Creighton. Nearly 90 seconds have ticked off the clock.
Rivera only had 5 points in the game yesterday against Georgetown, but remember, he's averaging about 18 a game recently.
Kolkbrenner has it right of the lane. Double team. Pass taken away in the middle by Gunn. Lead feed Blockers. Got it left of the lane. Hangs in the air. Layup. Back rim no. Rebound taken down by Neal into the hands of Ashworth. Creighton basketball. Ashworth between the rings. A 2-0 lead for DePaul here at Madison Square Garden over Creighton. Nearly 2 minutes gone by. Neal at the free throw line. Bounce pass inside all alone. Kolkbrenner, a two-handed stuff flying in from the right baseline.
Always have to be aware of him. You can't leave him. You got to keep a body on him.
So 2 minutes gone by. The game tied at 2. DePaul and Creighton. Demons with the basketball. Off to the left behind the arc. It's Leighton Blocker. Blocker backing in. Neal uses a screen. Spins to the top of the key. Right of the circle. It's Rivera. Loops a pass to the free throw line. Trainor's got it. Under 10 to shoot. Now Gunn has it at the free throw line. Hop step in the paint. Up fake. Spin. Fall away. Hook with the right hand won't go. Creighton comes up with a rebound. Neal across the line. He's straight away. Neal veers off to the left. And now it's Ashworth between the rings. Uses a screen. Loops a pass inside to Kolkbrenner. A kick out. Ashworth takes a 3 left side. Drives inside the paint. Floater up with the right hand. Short. Fight for the rebound. It gets knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Rivera of DePaul under the basket. It's Creighton basketball.
DePaul fighting so far early in the game. 3 minutes into the game. 2-2. A low-scoring game. Both of these teams come out not shooting the ball well. Remember, DePaul just played yesterday where Creighton had the day off and with the bye, but they should have fresh legs, but DePaul playing well.
Ashworth fires up a right side 3. That's no good. Hit the back of the rim. And the Demons come up with a rebound. Trainor's got it into the hands of Blocker. Across the line, off to the left. Working on Neal. Waits for a Traynor screen. Gets it. Rolls to the free throw line. Alley-oop catch. Jam! J.J. Traynor flying in from the left side. And the Demons take the lead. 4-2 over Creighton. 3 minutes gone by. Neal's got it for the Blue Jays. Off to the left in three-point territory. Uses a screen. Spins left. Stops left of the lane. Ball knocked away by Gunn. And we've got a whistle. There's a foul that's been called. It's on Creighton.
Yeah, I think Neal picked up that foul. Demons do a nice job. CJ Gunn got behind the offensive player there a little bit and came back around and got a hand on that ball, knocked it loose, and then loose ball on the floor. Creighton picks up the foul.
DePaul 4, Creighton 2, 16:40 remaining first half. Quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. Demons trying to stop a 22-game losing streak against these Blue Jays. Rivera has it left the lane, spins inside the paint. Hook shot, right hand, short. A one-handed rebound for Green and the Blue Jays. Creighton basketball across the line. Ashworth off to the right. Stops the dribble, gives to McAndrew left corner. He drives across the paint, left to right, stops mid-post, kick out Green. Long three on the way. No good, short from the right side. Coltbrunner the rebound in the far corner. Gives to McAndrew off to the right. Now left of the circle. It's Neal. Holds the ball over his head. Bounce pass inside. It's Green. Backing in. Kick out Coltbrunner. A three on the way. And he missed it from the head of the key. Rebound CJ Gunn. DePaul basketball. And we've got a whistle.
DJ Trainer went down there. It looks like he twisted his ankle. He's still on the ground.
Trainer down on one knee, being helped up to his feet by trusted trainer Mike Summer. There's an official timeout, 15:58 remaining here in the first half. It's the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. DePaul leading Creighton 4-2, and Trainer needing the assistance of both trainer Mike Summer as well as injured big man David Skogman to get back to the DePaul bench. So when we get official word on his status, we'll let you know. As for the game here, it is quite a low-scoring affair. We are not used to this over the years between DePaul and Creighton. And how about this, Dave? The Blue Demons have held the Blue Jays scoreless for the last 2+ minutes of game action.
This is a different DePaul team that we have seen in quite a while. Again, and you see them game in and game out recently. Each successive game, they have improved. Now, again, they played just 24 hours ago here in New York in the first round, where Creighton, due to the success they had, you play the whole season to get a first-round bye here, which should be an advantage for them in this game tonight. But sometimes that adrenaline's still pumping from the night before. I don't know if you're a Blue Demon or a Blue Demon fan, this is that this is a team that's playing their best basketball, and they're playing the most confident basketball they have in a long time. I don't feel that they think they need to back down to anyone. They're stepping up and, again, being competitive in today's game. And if there's anybody who you could talk about, you could excuse for being overconfident, it's the Creighton Blue Jays. You're talking about the statistics between these two teams over the course of the last decade or two. If there's anybody that's looking past someone, I could excuse Creighton for maybe thinking that they're going to have an easy game again tonight. Although that game in Omaha was only a 10-point game, and we played them pretty competitively there.
It's time now for the Illinois Pork Producers Recipe for the Win. Dave, what does DePaul need to do to win tonight's ball game?
Well, first of all, we've got to somehow neutralize Ryan Kalkbrenner. He dominated the game, as we've been talking about, at Creighton there in a 10-point win for the Blue Jays. He was the main difference in that game. Ryan Kalkbrenner had a huge game, and again, it was almost with J.J. Trader in that matchup. He was giving up, I don't know how many, 50, 60, 70 points and a few inches every time they came down the floor. So Ryan Kalkbrenner, 12 out of 17 in that game, 7 rebounds, 25 points. We're going to have to do a better job neutralizing him, as most teams in the country and in the Big East have attempted to do throughout the year. But we just saw J.J. Trainer go down here with an injury, and N.J. Benson re-enter the game. He had a huge game yesterday. So control Ryan Kalkbrenner, and after that, it's really going to be a three-point contest. DePaul shot the ball well recently. Creighton always shoots the ball well. So we have to close out on defenders and try to match them on the boards.
That's the Illinois Pork Producers Recipe for the Win. Be sure to visit ilpork.com for more information and to find delicious pork recipes. Now, I don't see J.J. Trainer in the huddle. He was taken to
I
the
didn't see
locker
they took
room.
him off the floor. He initially sat down at the end of the bench. I don't know. You're right. I don't see them there anywhere right now. They may have walked them in the back to maybe just tape that ankle or something. They had two guys taking him off the floor.
Yeah, so he's in the locker room with trainer Mike Summer. NJ Benson in there for the first time, coming off the 18-point performance. Demons basketball out of the timeout. D'Amico right side feeds Benson, and he floats in with a runner with a right hand and puts it home. DePaul extends the lead, 6-2 over Creighton. 15:40 remaining here in the first half.
Picking up right where he left off.
Ashworth has another big East logo at center court. Loops it past to Neal. 3-point range to the right. Checked by Gunn. Green's got it mid-post right on the lane, backing in on blocker. Backs in. Diagonal pass off to the left. McAndrew puts it on the floor and bounces it to Coltbrenner. Left of the lane, working on Benson. Mid-post. He whirls inside the paint. Layup, no good. Too strong with the right hand for the left side. Demons come up for the rebound. Here's Blocker across the line off to the left. Blocker hard dribble with the right hand. He's backing in. McAndrew uses a screen, spins to the free throw line. Up fake. Floater with the right hand, short. Blocker the rebound. Layup, no. Fight for the rebound. It's loose and picked up by Coltbrenner in the far corner. Into the hands of Ashworth across the line for Creighton off to the right. 6-2 the score. DePaul with the lead. Up top, Neal. Hand to the face from Gunn. Off to the right behind the arc. It's Ashworth checked by Rivera. A pass knocked away, picked up by Coltbrenner, head of the key. Now to Ashworth off to the right. Back to Coltbrenner at the free throw line. Head of the key, it's Neal. 10 to shoot for the Blue Jays. Neal, full out jump on the free throw line. Back rim, no. Rebound taken down by Gunn for DePaul. 14 and a half minutes remaining in half number one of the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. And DePaul leading Creighton 6-2. Creighton has gone scoreless for more than 3.5 minutes. Demons with the basketball. Head of the key, it's Blocker. Checked by Neal. Uses a D'Amico screen. Rolls right. Flips it now to Rivera. 3-point range. Right side, under 10 to shoot. Rivera in the paint. Gets right side. Benson all alone. A two-handed stuff. Flying in along the baseline.
8-2 Demons. 6 minutes into this game. Creighton with only 2 points. They're a high-scoring team. Won the game so far for the Blue Demons.
Yeah, the Demons on a 6-0 run, and they've got a 6-point lead. Neal has it off to the left, down the corner. Ashworth for three. Missed it from the left side. Rebound, Green. His putback won't go, but you heard the whistle. A foul's been called, and Green will go to the line and shoot two for Creighton.
Yeah, offensive rebound there to get a second chance at it and get fouled. And we're doing a nice job of bailing them inside, bailing them all over the floor. This is the first time that they've been going to, that they'll have a chance to go to the free throw line here for Creighton.
Creighton has
1 for 10 so far for Creighton from the field. 1 for 10.
It's been a 4+ minute scoring drought, and it continues as Green misses the first free throw. He's just a 67% shooter from the stripe. So now the Demons go small. Big forward Troy D'Amico heads to the bench, and reserve point man David Thomas enters for the first time tonight. The only big man out there for DePaul is NJ Benson. One more free throw for Green. Here it comes, and he knocks it down. So that ends a 4-minute and 12-second scoring drought for Creighton. DePaul with the lead, 8-3 over Creighton with 13:49 remaining here in the first half. Not much of a crowd here at Madison Square Garden at the start of this quarterfinal game between DePaul and Creighton. Blue Demons with the basketball. Left of the circle, it's Blocker. Uses a screen at the top of the key, directing traffic with the left hand. Yo-yos with the right. Off a curl, free throw line. Rivera, jumper, short, rebound, Gunn. Who's got it left of the lane? Kick out Benson. 3-point range to the left, beats Rivera. He flips it to Gunn. Top key three. Bullseye! Demons extend the lead. They're now up 11-3 over Creighton. 13:20 to go in the first.
Gunn got hit in the face, and now he's looking to see if his nose is bleeding. He got the pass and knocked down the three at the same time.
Ashworth fires up a three. Missed it right of the circle. Fight for the rebound. Demons come up with it. Rivera's got the ball. He'll bring it up left to right across the line. Blocker head of the key. Moving his teammates around with a left hand. Feeds Rivera off to the right. Between the legs with the dribble. Left side pass. It's Blocker screaming out a set play. Rivera's got it off to the right with 15 to shoot. Crossover dribble. He's got it at the elbow. Gives to Benson along the right baseline. Benson with under 10 to shoot, feeds Rivera in the corner. Back to Benson at the free throw line. Drive, stops mid-post, throwing around. Shot blocked by Coltbrenner, and it's going to be a shot clock violation on the Blue Demons.
And there's Ryan Coltbrenner's presence in the game. NJ Benson had been able to overpower Fielder yesterday against Georgetown, but Ryan Coltbrenner, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year here in the Big East.
Yeah, does not leave his feet. DePaul 11, Creighton 3, 12.5 minutes remaining in the first half. It's the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. Pass inside, ball knocked away. Demons come up with the steal. Rivera's got it and dribbles off his foot. It rolls out of bounds. They now say it was off of Colbrenner's leg. It'll be DePaul ball. Substitution for Creighton. Colbrenner will get a breather, and reserve big man Frederick King, a 6'9" junior from the Bahamas, enters for the first time for the Blue Jays. How about this start? DePaul 11, Creighton 3, 12:20 to go here in the first half. Again, Creighton with just 3 points. The Blue Jays average more than 75 per game. David Thomas head of the key, drives to the free throw line. Now behind him, it's Gunn off to the left. Drive, stops, mid-post, floater to the right hand. Back rim, no good. Rebound, Neal for Creighton. And Neal brings it up. Hesitation, dribble at the top of the key. Penetrates, half step in the paint, and a two-handed stuff.
Transition basket there. Only the second basket for the Blue Jays in the first 8 minutes of this game.
DePaul 11, Creighton 5, under 12 minutes to go before halftime. Demons with the basketball on the front court off to the left. David Thomas uses a Rivera screen, spins to the corner. He's checked by Fedor Zugic, a reserve guard. Thomas flows by him, floater in the paint, back rim, no good. The rebound punched out to Thomas off to the left. Head of the key, Rivera fakes a three, goes straight down the lane, right at King, layup, no, but he got fouled on the play, and Isaiah Rivera will go to the line and shoot two after this official timeout. Another sequence in which the Demons have been in complete control. 11:29 to go here in the first half. Quarterfinal round, Big East tournament. DePaul 11, Creighton 5. The winner of this game will get the winner of UConn Villanova in the semifinals tomorrow night. Zach Zabin, Dave Corzine with you. Brendan Gambeski, our engineer, helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. David, it's time now for the Starry Who's Hot segment. Who is hot for the Blue Demons?
Who else could it be but NJ Benson? 18 points in 18 minutes. A huge game for him. And that win over Georgetown, he was the difference maker. He's come out tonight already early and got a couple good looks at it. 4 points on 2 dunks going to the basket there with Kalkbrenner in the game. So he's been the difference maker yesterday. Let's see him do it again today.
Starry lemon lime soda. Starry hits different. You mentioned this earlier, and to me, it's such a big part of all of this. Any night could be the night someone else contributes for the Blue Demons. It is a deep team. It's not a team that has big names, but it's a team that has different performers that can shine on any given night depending on the opponent.
As we say now, we've watched a lot of this season, and the Demons, nobody really stepped up, and we had some down games and periods of this season where things weren't going. We have consistently gone, though, in the right direction. And I can't say enough about Chris Holtman and his staff, the way they have this team playing now. Each individual player, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 guys are not playing their best basketball of the season, if not of their careers. Some of these guys, we've watched these Blue Demon teams play a lot of basketball over the course of this season, and every one of these guys now seems like they have found their confidence and found a way to fit in and play a role on this team and contribute. We're talking about it over and over again. Different guys on different nights. It could be anybody, and the way they play together, I don't. Does it look like they're being intimidated by the Blue Jays so far today? They're coming out with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, again, Creighton 25-1 against DePaul since the Blue Jays joined the Big East Conference. It's been more than 10 years since DePaul last beat Creighton back in 2015 in Omaha, a 70-60 win where former DePaul big forward Forrest Robinson led the way with a career-high 20 points. Very rarely have these games been close. 23 of the last 25 games between DePaul and Creighton have been decided by double figures. So the fact that the Blue Demons have been in control through the first 2 official timeouts, the first 2 sequences of this game, to me says a lot about how this is a different era of DePaul basketball. And there was a little bit of a sign of this in late February in Nebraska when DePaul lost by 10 to Creighton. but the Blue Demons played them tight. They went toe-to-toe.
Yeah, well, you talk about the streak that we've been on against these Blue Jays and the lack of success we've had. Not only are we losing so many, a high percentage, we're losing by significant numbers. We have rarely within 10 points. So the way we're playing so far tonight, again, just shows that this is a completely different team.
Isaiah Rivera at the line, knocks down the first free throw. One more coming up. He's fouled on a driving layup attempt before the official timeout. DePaul extends the lead, now up 12-5 over Creighton. 11:29 to go here in the first half. Rivera bends the knee, snaps the right wrist, and the second free throw is no good. At the back of the rim, the front of the rim would not drop in. Creighton with the basketball right to left across the line comes the point man, Ashworth, checked by Blocker. Now Neal's got it between the circles. Off to the right, Sugic has the ball knocked away by Rivera. It's picked up by Blocker. Demons basketball. Blocker at the head of the key, slows it down, waits for his teammates to work their way to the front court. Now Blocker left of the lane, hop step in the paint. Flips it right side for Thomas. Shakes the shoulders between the legs of the dribble. Drives inside the paint. Whirls right. Floater to the right hand. High off the glass. No good. Rebound King for Creighton. Into the hands of Ashworth. Lead feed Sugic. Driving left. And he's fouled on a layup attempt by Blocker. Sugic will go to the line and shoot two.
The Creighton's only scored 2 baskets in this game. They're right now 2 out of 12. One of those 2 baskets was a breakaway there in transition a little bit ago, a few minutes ago. And here again, you see them out on transition. That's really what they've been looking. That's Creighton basketball. Transition, get down the floor quickly. If you don't get something early in transition, secondary transition, look for 3-point shots on the perimeter. And that's what Creighton wants to get more of.
Sugic bends the knee, snaps the right wrist, knocks down the first free throw. DePaul 12, Creighton 6. 10:55 to go here in the first half.
Oh, we're really going low. Jay Benson just exits the game, which I think the strategy of that. Oh, and look at immediately Kalkbrenner goes down. I was going to say the strategy of keeping NJ Benson out now is until they put Kalkbrenner back in, they want him there for that matchup.
The second free throw, no good by Sugic. The only big man out there, and I use that in air quotes, is the big forward, Troy D'Amico. Demons with the basketball. Thomas has it between the circles. Off to the right, Blocker behind the arc. Diagonal pass up high, Thomas. Flips it left side for Rivera. Puts it on the floor. Hop step in the paint. Drives right. Layup. Goes down. Isaiah Rivera with the blow by. And DePaul leads 14-6. Under 10.5 minutes to go here in the first. Creighton ball. Neal head of the key. Uses the screen. Veers right. Stops at the elbow. Up top. Sugic fakes a 3. Straight down the lane. Scoop left the right hand. Banks it home from the left side.
A few shots they've made. And again, that was a pretty open lane to the basket there.
So it's 14-8. DePaul over Creighton. Approaching 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. Thomas has it head of the key. Flips it to Rivera. Fakes a right side 3. Puts him on the floor. Diagonal pass left. Thomas for 3. Bullseye! David Thomas from downtown. And DePaul goes up by 9. 17-8 over Creighton. 9:49 remaining in the first half. Ashworth has it near the midcourt stripe straight away. He veers off to the right. Diagonal pass up high. Neal fakes a 3. Puts him on the floor. And the angle is cut off, so he backs it out 3-point range to the left. Plays catch with Isaac Trout off to the right, under 10 to shoot. Neal between the legs with the dribble, trying to weave his way past 3 Demons, hangs in the air, shot blocked, ball loose, picked up by Neal, 1 to shoot. Does he put it up in time? No! Shot clock violation, turnover Creighton.
What defense? These DePaul Blue Demons, they are playing the best basketball we've seen them play in quite a long time. Not this year, but we go back years before they've been playing with this much confidence and this much continuity.
What a scintillating start for DePaul. 9:23 remaining in the first half of this quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. And it's the Blue Demons on top of the Blue Jays of Creighton. 17-8. DePaul ball. David Thomas will bring it into the front court. Left to right, down the left sideline. Immediately checked by Ashworth. Thomas uses a screen from Rivera. Veers right of the circle. Now he's guarded by Kalkbrenner. Diagonal pass up high. D'Amico back to Thomas, who's working on the big man, tries to put it on the floor. Shovel pass, Gunn, who's got it right of the circle. 10 to shoot for the Demons. Gunn, head of the key. He'll launch. A 3 on the way. That's no good at the front of the rim. Neal the rebound for Creighton. And Jemiah Neal will bring it into the front court. Right to left across the line. Stops the dribble. Right of the circle. A bounce pass to the left wing where Ashworth has it. Holds the ball waist high. Calls out a play with the right hand. Puts it on the floor. Dribbles right of the circle. Now three-point territory off to the right. Diagonal pass up high. Trout. Left corner, McAndrew loops a pass inside. Left of the lane, it's Kalkbrenner. Double team comes from Blocker. Up high. It's a three on the way. Mason Miller missed it left of the circle. Weak side rebound, David Thomas for the Blue Demons. He races into the front court. Down the left sideline. Feeds Rivera, left wing behind the arc. Head of the key. Hand in the face from Kalkbrenner. Off to the right, it's Blocker behind the arc. Checked by Miller. Uses a screen from D'Amico. Dribbles to the free throw line. And now he'll back it out. 15 to shoot. Rivera splits the defense. Drives right of the lane. Ankle cut off. And a travel violation is called on Rivera and DePaul.
Yeah, took one extra step there as he drove into the lane. Tried to pull up. Jump stop, but drug his pivot foot there.
So 8:13 to go here in half number one. DePaul 17, Creighton 8. And the Blue Jays on another long scoring drought, Dave, of 2+ minutes. Earlier, it was more than 4.5.
Interesting to watch this matchup with Troy D'Amico and Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Left corner three for Miller. That one rolls around the rim and drops it.
He hasn't had a lot of success this year. He led the Big East in three-point shooting percentage last year. This year, under 20% for the season.
17-11, the DePaul lead over Creighton. Under 8 minutes to go in the first half. Blockers got it off to the right, checked by Kalkbrenner. Now left of the circle, Rivera waits for Thomas screen. He veers left, penetrates, hops up in the paint, kick out D'Amico, extra pass, Blocker, corner three, bullseye from the right side. What ball movement by the Blue Demons. They go up 20-11 over Creighton. 7.5 minutes to go here in the first. Ashworth off to the right, loops a pass to Kalkbrenner, mid-post right of the lane, triple team, ball taken away by Blocker. Demons with numbers, Blocker hangs in the air, layup, no, fight for the rebound. Kalkbrenner knocks it away, picked up by Blocker, right side. 20 to shoot for the Blue Demons. Thomas straight down the lane. Layup, banks it home with the left hand. It's all going down for DePaul. Up 22-11 over Creighton. 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. What a start for the Blue Demons. Ashworth at the head of the key. Off to the right, Kalkbrenner. Back to Ashworth, off to the right. Fakes a three. Bounce pass to the free throw line. Kalkbrenner has the ball knocked away. But you heard a whistle. A foul called on the Blue Demons. David Thomas whistled for the infraction, and that leads to an official timeout. 6:50 remaining here in the first half. I cannot stress enough the kind of basketball the Blue Demons are playing. They're up 22-11 over Creighton here in this Big East quarterfinal round. The winner gets the winner of the game following us, UConn and Villanova. DePaul has never played in the Big East semis. But if they keep playing like this, they're going to have a chance.
I can't get the smile off my face watching this first. What do we do? We're 13 minutes into this game. Creighton only has 11 points. If you're 11-point lead now for the Demons. If you're watching this game or listening to this game, in this case on the radio, this does not look like a fluke. The Demons, we keep talking about they're on a 3-game winning streak. They came in and won the first round game yesterday. We keep talking about how they have found their roles and found the confidence to play together. And the way they're playing here in this first 13 minutes against the Creighton Blue Jay team, who has finished second in the Big East and has dominated the Demons throughout the course of their time together in the Big East, you would think that the score would be reversed. But there's nothing about this game that looks like the Demons have been lucky. They're outplaying the Blue Jays in almost every part of this game.
Rush is proud to be the official health system and healthcare provider of DePaul Athletics, driven by discovery, innovation, and a deep responsibility for the health of our communities. Rush is a national leader in outstanding patient care, education, research, community partnerships, and empowering a new generation of healthcare providers. Visit rush.edu for more information and to find a location near you. We mentioned DePaul had to be proficient from the perimeter. Demons were 3 of 5 from three-point territory, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it is when you consider that Creighton, also relying on the three, is just 1 of 8 from behind the arc here in the early going. Creighton is one of the best offensive teams in the Big East. The Blue Jays are shooting 27% from the field. Creighton coming in averaged nearly 50% shooting from the field this season. So the Demons are doing it with defense. What are they doing to stifle the Blue Jays?
They're moving well, double teaming, keeping Creighton out of their sets. Creighton keeps looking to get it in. You know, I think they relied so much on Ryan Kalkbrenner in that last game in Omaha. He dominated that game in every aspect of the game. They're looking to do the same thing here today, but the Demons and Coach Holtman have made adjustments. They're double, triple teaming him down in the post. They've got a bigger body on him with NJ Benson, and it's a completely different game.
And the atmosphere very different than what we saw the last time these two teams met in Omaha. There were 17,000 plus in attendance in that game in Nebraska. And while Madison Square Garden holds more than 19,000 fans, a lot of empty seats here at the start of this one. And I think the Blue Demons have been able to take advantage of that. And as this game continues to progress, everyone in New York likes an underdog, right? And you're gonna root for the underdog. So as each timeout passes, I'm talking about the official timeouts, and the Blue Demons continue to have the lead, the pressure continues to mount for Creighton.
People are getting in their cars, coming out to Madison Square Garden to watch this happen.
Well, they're going to be stuck in traffic if they try to do that. I suggest walking or mass transit. Anyway, Creighton ball out of the timeout. Off to the right in three-point territory. It's Ashworth. Angle cut off, beats McAndrew. Right side three is no good. In and out. And we've got a loose ball foul. It's been called on Creighton.
Kalkbrenner picks up the foul. NJ Benson does a nice job. Again, we talk about getting a body on Ryan Kalkbrenner, keeping him off the boards. And there's another example of Ryan Kalkbrenner maybe a little bit frustrated, trying to go over the back of NJ Benson.
6:38 to go in the first half. DePaul 22, Creighton 11. We have yet to see J.J. Traynor since he left early with an apparent leg injury. Rivera at the free throw line feeds Benson left of the lane. Now it's Gunn, free throw line. Jump goes down, and the Demons go
Come
up
on.
24-11 over Creighton. 6:20 to go here in the first half.
Right
It's
in
all Blue Demons.
Kalkbrenner's face that time.
Demons on a 7-0 run. Ashworth crossover dribble off to the left. Stops the dribble, needs help. Diagonal pass up high. Miller off to the left. Ashworth, he'll watch for three. And that rims out. Rebound goes to Benson of the Blue Demons. Into the hands of Thomas, pushing the tempo. Thomas at the free throw line. Drives left. Kalkbrenner stops the penetration, so they back it out. Rivera ahead of the key, hand in the face from Ashworth. Kick out left side. Thomas fakes a three, puts it on the floor, stops at the free throw line. Plays catch with Rivera. Now off to the right. Gunn behind the arc. 10 to shoot for the Blue Demons. Gunn ahead of the key. Drives inside the paint. And we've got a whistle.
Foul on the ground there. Is it Ashworth that picked up the foul?
Yeah, Ashworth picks up the personal.
It's always a tough matchup for Creighton. DePaul looking, you can always attack Stephen Ashworth. He's almost always undersized against the offensive player.
Ashworth listed at 6 feet. Looks smaller than that. Blocker sits. Back in the game for the Blue Demons is D'Amico. The Demons work the ball around the perimeter. Now left of the lane, it's Thomas. Head of the circle. Troy D'Amico. Gives to Rivera. Left wing behind the arc, 10 to shoot. Benson head of the key. Holds the ball over his head and feeds Gunn, who's got it at the top of the circle. Drives to the free throw line. Alley-oop! And Benson can't tap it in. Benson comes up with a rebound. Mid-post kick out. Rivera off to the right. Head of the key, D'Amico. Fakes a three. Now off to the left. It's Gunn behind the arc. Checked by McAndrew. Plays catch with D'Amico, who's got it right of the circle. Turns behind him. Chris Holtman, the Demons head coach, called out a set play. 5 to shoot. Rivera at the free throw line. Hops to the bait. Fall-away jump shot. Rolls around the rim and drops in. The friendly roll for Isaiah Rivera. And the Demons go up 26-11 over Creighton. Under 5 minutes to go before halftime. Now McAndrew drives right, and he's bumped by C.J. Gunn.
A little bit too aggressive there. He almost came up with that steal. What a game. What a performance by the Blue Demons. People, everybody in here is stunned, including us. We weren't expecting a game like this.
Creighton has gone on a scoring drought of 3+ minutes. The Demons on a 9-0 run. DePaul 26, Creighton 11, 4:49 to go. First half, Big East quarterfinals. Ashworth to trigger in, front court baseline right. Pass taken away by Thomas. Out in front. Look out below. Layup banks it home. DePaul is blowing out Creighton here in this first half. Up 28-11. Timeout, Blue Jays. What an unbelievable first half for DePaul. 4:37 to go in the first. Again, DePaul 28, Creighton 11. The Demons on an 11-0 run. Wow.
It's crazy. They're playing incredibly great basketball right now, and you can see the energy level of both of these teams. Creighton back on their heels. They are stunned. I think the players on this Creighton team are as stunned as anybody. We talk about them possibly coming in being overconfident with the success they've had against the Blue Demons historically, but they need to wake up if they're going to get back in this game, or this is going to be a huge win for the Blue Demons.
DePaul has not beaten Creighton since 2015. The Blue Demons have dropped 22 consecutive games to this Blue Jays team. Nearly all of them have been blowout losses. But now it's the Demons dominating play, up 28-11 over the Blue Jays with 4:37 to go here in the first half. It's the Big East quarterfinals. If you're going to end a losing streak like this, now's the time to do it. Ashworth has it between the circles for Creighton. A bounce pass off to the right. Jason Green. Hand to the face from D'Amico. Cross-court pass. McAndrew, left side three is good.
They were 1 for 10 from the perimeter. They needed that.
It ends a Creighton scoring drought of nearly 3.5 minutes. DePaul 28, Creighton 14. Approaching 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Demons work the ball around the perimeter. Rivera ahead of the key. Right of the circle, D'Amico. Takes a three. Puts it on the floor. Alley-oop! Too strong off the glass. He was looking for Benson flying in for the left side. Creighton comes up with a loose ball. Ashworth has it off to the left. Right of the circle, Coltrenner whips a pass inside. Green ball knocked away, and a foul's been called.
I think Leighton Blocker came in from the weak side, help side defense, picks up that foul. Team fouls. DePaul has 4, unless they haven't put. There's a 15 foul for the Demons. Creighton with 4 right now, so it's not a shooting foul.
Official timeout, 3:56 to go here in half number 1 of the Big East quarterfinals. DePaul on top of Creighton, 28-14. Yeah, you heard right. Blue Demons 28, Blue Jays 14. Experience the excitement live at Wintrust Arena. Tickets to next season on sale at DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets. Again, that's DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets. Alongside DePaul great Dave Corzine, Zach Zaidman with you high above the court here at Madison Square Garden. How did we get here? Well, the Blue Demons won 13 games during the regular season, including a record of 4-16 in conference play. Numbers that don't wow you, but everything has to be put in perspective. And the Blue Demons last season won 3 games the entire year. They dropped every single conference game, went 0-20 in league action, including following the regular season, a first-round loss here at the Garden to Villanova. They changed the entire coaching staff. Every player on the current roster is new, and the Blue Demons went from 3 wins last season to 14 this year. The 14th win, the biggest of the year. That was last night in the first round of the Big East tournament against Georgetown. And now the Blue Demons are putting on a show here in this first half against the number 2 seed Creighton. DePaul up 28-14 over Creighton with 3:56 to go here in the first half. DePaul has held Creighton to just 28% shooting from the field, Dave, including 2 of 11 from behind the arc.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here, not only in the last 3:56 of this first half, but there's obviously a lot of basketball to go. A 14-point lead in the first half, certainly not insurmountable, especially a team like the Blue Jays, who can be so explosive on the offensive end and have quite a few weapons that could heat up and make a difference in this game. But to this point, DePaul is the better team. Yeah, it's hard to say that and believe that, but you watch this game, if you didn't know the records of these two teams, what was going on, and you just walked in here blind and watched these two teams, DePaul is the better team right now. They're taking better shots. They're being more aggressive. They're doing everything they need to do to win. And it doesn't look like, again, it doesn't look like just things are falling for the Demons. They are playing great basketball.
But this is a Creighton team that was number 2 in the Big East in field goal percentage at 48%. this shouldn't be the issue that Creighton is having, but you're right. The Demons defense has been dominant here in this first half.
They're not missing open shots. They're forcing turnovers. Creighton with 7 turnovers already. They typically are a team, very efficient team. They normally don't turn the ball over much, but 7 turnovers and only shooting 27%. And let's credit the Demons for that. It's not as if the Blue Jays are just missing easy shots.
So it'll be Creighton ball out of the timeout. Front court baseline right. Ashworth will trigger in. DePaul 28, Creighton 14. 3:56 to go before halftime. 22 to shoot when the Blue Jays put it in play. Ashworth holds the ball chest high. He's got to trigger in and launches a deep pass to the midcourt stripe. Neal's got it. Off to the right, Ashworth shakes the shoulders, plays catch with Neal. Bounce pass free throw line. It's Coltbrenner. Now off to the left, Neal. He'll launch for 3 and knock it down from the left side.
2 in a row now. You figure sooner or later Creighton's going to make some shots. So DePaul will have to hold off any type of run by these Blue Jays. You know they're not just going to lay down.
Yeah, Creighton beginning to make a push, a 6-0 run, 28-17 the score. DePaul on top, under 3.5 minutes to go in the first. Thomas drives left, rolls inside the paint, loops a pass up high, Rivera, 10 to shoot for DePaul. Rivera uses a screen from D'Amico, bounces left between the legs with the dribble. Now at the free throw line, pull up, jump on the way. He got it! Silky smooth Isaiah Rivera, ending Creighton's 6-0 run. And DePaul goes up 30-17 over Creighton. 3 minutes remaining here in half number 1. Jemiah Neal between the circles, bounces right. Demons switch defensively. Now it's Rivera checking Neal. A pass inside. Coltbrenner, mid-post right of the lane, working on Benson. Backing in. He whirls inside the paint. Hook shot, left hand. Oh, a pretty move as he knocks it down.
Look what he had to do there to get that bucket. N.J. Benson did a great job. He caught that ball almost 10 feet off of the block there and had to take 3 or 4 dribbles to get down low. If you watch the game in Omaha, J.J. Traynor had no ability to stop him. Coltbrenner just caught it in the lane right under the basket.
Off to the right, D'Amico loops a pass too high over the head of Rivera. A steal for Neal into the front court for Creighton. At the top of the key, he launches for 3. Shot blocked from behind by Rivera, and it rolls out of bounds along the far sideline. It was last touched by DePaul. It'll be Creighton ball. 2:21 remaining here in the first half. DePaul 30, Creighton 19.
Great job by Isaiah Rivera to get back into that play. And then again, Creighton looking to get a transition basket. Isaiah Rivera right there.
Coltbrenner has it mid-post right of lane. Hands off to Green. Diagonal pass off to the left Neal. Head of the key, McAndrew drives inside the paint. Flow to the right hand. Back rim, no. Tap pass by McAndrew. That won't go. And Rivera the rebound for DePaul. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the first half. DePaul 30, Creighton 19. David Thomas for the Blue Demons down the right sideline into the front court. Between the legs with the dribble. Plays catch with Rivera, who's got it left of the circle. Checked by Ashworth. Rivera backing in Ashworth, and a reach-in foul is called on the Creighton point guard.
That would be the 5th team foul on the Blue Jays, so the Demons have it on the sideline.
A minute 52 to go before halftime. DePaul 30, Creighton 19. It's the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. Isaiah Rivera will put it in play. And he feeds David Thomas. And the shot clock was not reset. 5 to shoot. Do the Demons know it? Gunn fires up a left side 3. Knocks it down! An off-balance tray with the shot clock running down. C.J. Gunn, bang, bang. And the Blue Demons go up 33-19. A minute 30 to go here against Creighton in the first half. Up top, Neal. He'll launch for 3. That's short. Long rebound. Tracked down by Green in the right corner. Pass knocked away. And a foul's been called. Who's it on?
There's 2 Demons there fighting for that ball. I know D'Amico was 1. I think maybe Isaiah Traynor.
So D'Amico picks up the personal. First personal for D'Amico. That's 16 fouls now on DePaul. A minute 17 remaining here in the first half. DePaul 33, Creighton 19. So the Blue Jays will trigger in. Front court, baseline right. Jason Green will put it in play. Holds the ball chest high. Gives to Neal. Mid-post right of the lane. He'll back it out. Ashworth has it. Left of the circle. Hand in the face from David Thomas. Uses a Coltbrenner screen. He drives right. Angle cut off. Neal head of the key. Goes straight down the lane. Stops mid-post. Angle cut off. 7 to shoot. Fall away. Jump shot on the way. An air ball. Rebound D'Amico. Here come the Blue Demons. Across the line, Thomas head of the key. Working on McAndrew. Off to the right. It's Isaiah Rivera. Now in the right corner. CJ Gunn backing in Ashworth. Now mid-post right of the lane. And an offensive foul is called on CJ Gunn.
I think that was a makeup. They gave Ashworth kind of a tic-tac foul a couple possessions ago. Let's see, we're getting a chance to watch that again. I don't know. I think Ashworth did a lot of acting there.
49.3 seconds remaining here in the first half. Freshman Chris Riddle from Kenwood Academy enters the game for DePaul. Gunn heads to the bench. Ashworth head of the key. Drives to the free throw line. Goes right. High archer. Off glass. No. Put back. Goes down. The tap back by Colbrenner. So it's DePaul 33, Creighton 21. 32 seconds remaining here in the first half, and the Blue Demons call time as soon as Thomas brings the ball into the front court. So the Demons with an opportunity here, because there's still 23 to shoot. Do you go for like a 2-for-1 type of situation?
No, there's not enough time for that. There's only 30 seconds on the game clock here in the first half. So obviously, Creighton, whenever they get possession of this ball, will have a chance to run down the clock for the last shot. But I think what you want to do now, if you're DePaul, is run that down. You've got 23 seconds. There's little over 7 second difference between the first half game clock and the shot clock. So if I assume they're going to look to run that clock down and give Creighton as little time as possible to get the ball when they get it back.
What a first half for DePaul here in the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. DePaul leading Creighton 33-21. 30.4 seconds remaining on the game clock. And as Dave said, 23 to shoot when the Demons put it in play. They'll have it in the front court along the left sideline. The 5 on the floor for the Blue Demons. D'Amico is out there with Jacob Meyer, David Thomas, Isaiah Rivera, and the freshman Chris Riddle. It'll be Rivera who triggers in. He feeds Thomas, who's got it near the midcourt stripe straight away. Thomas just dribbling on that huge Big East tournament logo at center court. 15 to shoot. My guess is when the shot clock goes to 10, and here it does, he'll make his move. Keep ears left, up top. D'Amico for 3. Bullseye! Troy D'Amico! The tray from the head of the key. 9 seconds to go here in the first half. Neal head of the key. Feeds McAndrew. Now a kick out. Neal for 3. No good from the right side. Rebound Riddle. And the first half is over. DePaul goes into the locker room up 36-21 over Creighton after the first 20 minutes of play here in the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. Don't say this often, but this whole first half is a huge wow.
It is amazing. I think everybody chin is on their chest here in Madison Square Garden. People starting to continue to filter in. Wasn't a big crowd initially at the beginning of the game, but more and more people starting to fill in here as this game progresses. And I don't think there's anybody in this arena who expected the Demons to come out and play like this. Remember, they just played 24 hours ago against a very competitive Georgetown team, able to come up with a 4-point victory there. And Creighton, with the first round bye, should be the fresher team, should be the team ready to come out and play with energy, but it's looked like anything but that. DePaul, in almost every aspect of this game, has been the more aggressive team. They are just outplaying Creighton. They just, right now, they just want to win this game more than Creighton does. I think Creighton expected, again, you're looking past the Demons, not only in this Big East tournament, but moving in to the NCAA tournament. And I don't know about you, Zach, but I didn't even look at the matchups. I don't know who we're going to play in the next round of this tournament if we get there, but I'm sure Creighton expected to be there. And hopefully we'll be able to change this scenario, and we'll continue to move. But a long way to go. Creighton, one of the best teams in the Big East, one of the top teams in the country, an NCAA team. But 20 minutes to go, but what a great first half.
Blue Demons leading the Blue Jays 36-21. DePaul, the number 10 seed. Creighton, the number 2 seed. And the winner of tonight's ball game will take on the winner of the game following us, Villanova and UConn. Earlier today, St. John's, the top seed in the tournament, beat Butler big 78-57, and that means that the Johnnies will take on the Golden Eagles of Marquette in the semis, as Marquette beat Xavier 89-87, a heartbreaking loss for the Musketeers earlier this afternoon here at the Big East tournament in New York. Blue Demons trying to advance to the semifinals for the first time in school history, at least the semifinals of the Big East tournament. It's something that DePaul has not done, and the Blue Demons have been in the Big East for 20 years. So the opportunity to play on Friday looms large, and we've seen the Demons play some good ball the last time they were in the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament a couple of years ago. Remember, in the first round, they beat Seton Hall on the big block by Nick Ongenda at the end of the game. Then the Blue Demons took Xavier down to the wire before the Musketeers rallied to hold off DePaul and advance. But the Demons didn't play like this. That was first half domination. There was no doubt. If you walked into the building, didn't know that Creighton was the number 2 seed, didn't know that DePaul was the 10th seed, you'd have no idea that DePaul was the number 10 seed and Creighton was the number 2. The Blue Demons looked like the better team every minute of the first half.
Certainly did. Again, it's not as if Creighton is just missing high percentage shots. They came in this first half here, ended the first half under 30% from the field, 3 out of 14 from behind the three-point line. So those have been contested shots, and they have 7 turnovers here in the first half to the Demons 5. The Demons made a couple miscues towards the end of the half, but this has certainly been all Blue Demons here in the first half. But just as Creighton shouldn't have come into this game too overconfident, certainly DePaul's in no position to come out in the second half and expect Creighton to play the same way they did in the first half. We're going to have to come out and win this game. 20 more minutes. It won't be, don't expect Creighton to not make a run here sometime in the second half. And that's when the Demons are going to have to show their mettle and withstand that pressure by the Creighton Blue Jays and continue to play this type of basketball.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Creighton has finished first or second in the Big East in 4 of the last 6 seasons under Greg McDermott. Creighton has enjoyed tremendous success. The 60-year-old head coach is in his 15th year at Creighton. He's the all-time winningest coach of the Blue Jays, passing Dana Altman earlier this season. And Altman took him to 7 NCAA tournaments. McDermott has taken Creighton to 9 NCAA tournaments. Creighton has won at least 20 games in 25 of the last 27 seasons, including this one. They are 22-9. So this would be a monster upset if the Demons can duplicate what we saw over the first 20 minutes of play. And speaking of the first 20 minutes of action, Dave, are you ready to do a deep dive when it comes to the first half numbers? The first half recap is brought to you by Aries Charter Transportation, an official charter bus provider of DePaul Athletics.
All right, let's do it. We've got some happy numbers here to talk about at the end of the first half. Let's start out with the Creighton Blue Jays. Leading scorer for Creighton is still Ryan Kalkbrenner, but he has 6 points at this point in 17 minutes, 3 out of 5 from the field. The leading scorer for Creighton, only 6 points. Other scorers for Creighton, Neal with 5 points. A couple guys, 3 guys with 3 points apiece. McAndrew, the freshman, Zukic with 3, and Miller hit that 1 3 that bounced around and went in. Let's see, other scores, 1 point for Green, and that's it. They've only got 21 points here at the half. A great job defensively by the Blue Demons. Scoring for the Blue Demons, they are led by Isaiah Rivera. We talk about a different player stepping up each new game. Isaiah Rivera, not a big factor in that Georgetown game, but he has been averaging close to 18 points a game towards the down the stretch of the Big East season. He has half of that in the first half. He played all 20 minutes, and he has 9 points on 4 out of 6 from the field and knocked down a free throw. Other scores for the Demons, C.J. Gunn with 8 points on 3 out of 7. He knocked down 2 3-pointers. Remember that one he hit there? His time was running out. And with the shot clock running down, a huge 3-pointer there to continue the momentum for the Demons. David Thomas, who has been more and more of a factor every game as we're going down the stretch, he has 7 at halftime. All these guys, remember, they have outscored Kalkbrenner, an All-American player with 6 points leads all Creighton scorers. We've got 3 players with Rivera with 9, Thomas 7, Gunn with 8, who are all scoring more points than anyone on this Creighton team. Other scores for DePaul, the hero of yesterday's game against Georgetown, N.J. Benson, has 4 points here at the half. J.J. Traynor, who went down with that ankle injury and was removed from the floor, looked like he went to the locker room. He has 2 points. Leighton Blocker, again, a guy that had a huge game, knocked down 4 3-pointers in that game against Georgetown. He is 1 for 5 from the field, and he has 3 points. That one shot he made was a 3-pointer. Also, Troy D'Amico hit 1 3-pointer. He has 3 points. I don't know that I left anybody out. I think that's it. That's 36 points for the Demons here in the first half. They're shooting 48%. Only one. They're 15 out of 31. Just one shot below 50% for the game in the first half. 5 out of 7. They didn't shoot a lot of 3-pointers, but that is efficient. 5 out of 7. They only went to the free throw line 2 times. Isaiah Rivera got a couple looks at the free throw line, knocked down one of those. Not a lot of free throw shooting for either one of these teams. Creighton Blue Jays only 2 out of 4 from the line. Zukic up 1 for 2, and Green 1 for 2. So free throws have not been a big factor in this game. Creighton shooting 29% for the half, 8 of 27. That includes 3 of 14 from behind the 3-point line. That's 21%. And remember, Zach, you've talked about it repeatedly, how Creighton, one of the most efficient teams in the Big East and in the country, shooting percentage-wise. They do a great job of getting good looks at the basket. And obviously with Ryan Kalkbrenner down underneath to clean up missed shots or get those lobs and inside looks at it, he is the guy that makes a big difference for this Creighton team. Rebounding-wise, DePaul with a 21-16 lead on the boards, offensive boards. DePaul with a 7-6 lead. So they have done almost every category of you could look at in this first half. Second chance points, DePaul with an 8-3 lead. Bench points, DePaul has outscored Creighton 11-6. Points in the paint, DePaul with a 16-10 advantage in that department. DePaul with 5 turnovers to Creighton's 7 turnovers. So everything going DePaul's way right now. They have 8 assists. Creighton only has 4 assists because they've only got 8 baskets. DePaul with 8 assists on 15 baskets. Creighton only 4 assists on 8 baskets on 8 of 27 shooting. So there's nothing you can look at here that doesn't point to DePaul dominating that first half in almost every category. And right now, I'm sure both of these coaches are in the locker room working on their strategy here for the second half. I can't imagine. I got to feel Greg McDermott here at the half, is talking to his Blue Jays about the effort they put in and their desire to win this game. And they're going to have to come out and show some of that in the second half. And DePaul is not holding anything back and has had a great first half with a 15-point lead. And they're up 36-21, 21 Creighton points. Again, Creighton's a team, one of the highest scoring teams in the Big East, averaging over 75, closer to 80 points a game. 21 points in the first half. Everything going right for the Blue Demons. Great first half.
Yeah, you heard right. If you're just tuning in and you heard Dave say that we're at the half here at Madison Square Garden, the Big East quarterfinal round, and Dave mentioned that DePaul is up 36-21 over the number 2 seed in the conference, Creighton. You heard right. There's your first half recap, courtesy of Aries Charter Transportation. I think the thing that is stunning to me is that we've never seen DePaul play the Blue Jays like this. It's not just the fact that DePaul is on top. It's not just the fact that we're in the Big East tournament in the quarterfinal round. It's this opponent that has dominated the Blue Demons. And yet, over the first 20 minutes of play, the dominant team was DePaul, and Creighton was struggling to find its way. I don't know what's going on in the halftime locker room right now with Creighton, but you got to imagine the Blue Jays are shell-shocked. In the other locker room, if you're Chris Holtman and DePaul, this just continues the ascent that we've been witnessing since last week on the road at Providence, the game that began this 3-game winning streak.
I don't know that you can give Coach Holtman and the bench of coaches that he has there, of Al Jordan and Brandon Bailey, Matt Johnson, Drew Bryson, Michael Summer, Jack Owens, Brian Mullins, all head coaches, Paris Parnham, the only holdover from last year's team. I don't know that you can give those guys enough credit for what they've done here with this Blue Demon squad. I don't know what's going to happen in the second half, but this is not the raw Blue Demon team that started this season or played most of the year. They had to make adjustments with Connor Enright leaving the lineup. He was really the heart of the team, ran the offense for them. They had to make a lot of adjustments, but they have come out of that, finding their roles, and every one of these guys have stepped up, and you've got to just be proud of the coaching staff and what they've done. These players are playing better, but that is due to the way that they have been handled and coached by this coaching staff.
Let's start with Chris Holtman, the 53-year-old first-year head coach of the Blue Demons, but plenty of big-time coaching experience. 3 years at Gardner-Webb, 3 years as the head man at Butler, 6.5 years as the head coach at Ohio State, where he went 137-86 with the Buckeyes. He's been a coach of the year in both the Big East with Butler and in the Big Ten with Ohio State. And he's got such an experienced assistant coaching staff. Brian Mullins, who operates kind of like the offensive coordinator, the former head coach at Southern Illinois, a Chicago native. And then there's Laval Jordan, former head coach at Butler and Milwaukee. There's Brandon Bailey, a Chicago native, former G League head coach and a Celtics assistant under Brad Stevens. Started his career as a manager for the DePaul women's basketball team under Doug Bruno. Paris Parham, a Chicago native with a lot of assistant coaching experience at Milwaukee, Illinois State. He was the head coach at Morgan Park and Phillips Academy. So you start to combine that knowledge and the tutelage. And the Demons have been a fluid group that has gotten better and better and better as the year has gone on, and in very different ways. Because early on in the year, it was with Connor Enright as the lead point guard. He gets hurt, undergoes shoulder surgery, out for the year, and it took the Demons a little bit of time to readjust, but they have found the magic formula. And I've got some good news, Dave. J.J. Traynor has started warming up with his teammates. We did not see him after early in the first half. He appeared to turn an ankle right on that Big East tournament logo.
Not even limping out there.
Yeah, so he's firing up threes from the top of the key. That's a very good sign, and maybe we'll see him in the first half. But the guys that came in after him, N.J. Benson, looked good. Benson in that first half had 4 points, 2 of 4 from the field, 5 rebounds. Benson had a whale of a game yesterday.
Don't
in his
you feel
return.
like you could just put name one of the guys in the Demons who looks like fill in, put them in the game, and they are all responding. You can just name a guy. If a guy goes down, the next guy steps up.
Yeah, and that's the key for DePaul. The sum of the parts is what creates a dangerous team. The Blue Demons are not a one-man show like Creighton with Colt Brenner. Everyone has to play a certain role in order for the Blue Demons to have a chance. That's why they've won 3 in a row coming into play here today, and that's why they've got the dominant lead at the half, 36-21 over Creighton. But as you mentioned, and you've said it often, plenty of time to go. There's an entire half of basketball to be played. What are the keys to the second half, Dave?
The keys to the second half is see if Creighton can come out and play with some more intensity. I don't think they had any idea they were going to be in this type of a fight. We continually talk about the success they've had against the DePaul Blue Demons. I think they thought it was going to be more of the same. It's come too easy for them against the Demons as it had. They've had success not only against the Demons, but everybody in the Big East and one of the top teams in the country. But we've seen this Creighton team get hot. And when they're playing well, they're running the floor. They're getting early transition baskets. And if they don't get something early, the secondary transition guys are pulling up for threes. They can explode offensively. They're going to need to explode offensively if they're going to get back in this game. A 15-point deficit, obviously, 20 minutes to go, plenty of time. But Creighton's going to have to change this around for the Blue Jays. They are going to have to play with a lot more intensity, come up with the 50-50 balls, get out, close out our shooters. But I tell you right now, DePaul has their destiny in their own hands. They are the team that is playing better basketball right now. If they come out and continue to play the way they did in the first half, Creighton's going to have all they can handle to try to match that, and especially when they need to make up a 15-point deficit here. They only scored 21 points in the whole half. So if you're going to make up 15 points, they're going to have to put a lot more points on the board in the second half.
And we are getting set for half number 2. The Blue Demons will begin the second half with a 36-21 advantage over the number 2 seed Creighton. It's the Big East quarterfinal round. Blue Jays will have the ball first. They will move from left to right from our vantage point, high atop the court here at Madison Square Garden, opposite the benches. DePaul wearing the royal blue road uniforms with the white numerals and lettering outlined in scarlet, horizontal red stripes on the sides of the jersey and the shorts. And Creighton home white uniforms with blue numerals and lettering and blue piping down the sides of the jerseys and the shorts. DePaul has never played in the Big East semis. The Blue Demons are 20 minutes away from advancing. They're up 36-21 as we get set for half number 2. J.J. Traynor remains on the bench after tweaking his ankle early in the first half. N.J. Benson begins the second half with the starting 5 for the Blue Demons. He'll man the middle. Troy D'Amico, the big forward, and a 3-man backcourt of Blocker, Rivera, and Gunn. The second half underway. Left to right across the line comes Ashworth, the Creighton point guard. He'll launch for 3, and that hits the back of the rim. No good from the top of the circle. Demons basketball. Layden Blocker brings it up across the line right to left. 36-21 the score. Opening minute of the second half. Layden Blocker out of the key, uses the screen, drives right, hop step in the paint, pass up high to Gunn, between the legs with the dribble. He'll step back, flip it right side for Blocker behind the arc. Blocker holds the ball over his head. D'Amico head of the key, under 10 to shoot. D'Amico drives to the free throw line, reverses it right side now for Blocker, 4 to shoot. Step back 3 on the way, that's no good. Hit the front of the rim, and the ball bounces out of bounds along the far sideline. It'll be Creighton basketball.
You know, we're talking about the different things that have gone on in this game. Point out, Stephen Ashworth, second guy on the team behind Ryan Kalkbrenner, 0 for 8 in this game. He has not put a point on the board yet. He just missed that 3 to start the second half.
45 seconds gone by here in the second half. Creighton ball right on the lane. It's Kalkbrenner, turnaround jump, backs it home with the right hand. So Creighton strikes first here in half number 2. It's DePaul 36, Creighton 23. A minute gone by. Layden Blocker with the ball for the Blue Demons down the left sideline, verbally calling out a set play. He uses a screen from D'Amico and veers off to the right in three-point territory. Blocker calls out a set play with the right hand, yo-yos with the left. He's got the ball between the rings. Now Rivera has it at the top of the circle. Off a curled gun at the free throw line. Hops up in the paint. Fall away. Hook with the right hand. It goes down. Beautiful teardrop. And the Demons have a 38-23 lead over Creighton. 90 seconds gone by here in the second half.
Again, Ryan Kalkbrenner's grill.
Neal drives right, angle cut off by Rivera, so he backs it out behind the arc on the right wing. Between the legs with the dribble, drives again, hops up in the paint, left side pass, McAndrew for 3. That's short. Ball batted up in the air. It's loose and tracked down by Gunn, who collides with Kalkbrenner. And C.J. Gunn appears to be in a little bit of discomfort. He's on all fours, slowly getting up. He's okay. A foul called, and it's on Kalkbrenner.
Things continue to go Blue Demons' way here.
So now CJ Gunn being looked at along the DePaul sideline. He's staying in the game, so that's a good sign. Nearly 2 minutes have ticked off the clock here at the start of the second half. DePaul ball up 38-23 over Creighton. Quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. Layden Blocker has it off to the left, between the legs with the dribble, uses a Benson screen, rolls right. He's blitzed by a double team near the midcourt stripe, off to the right, feeds Gunn right side. Now Rivera in the corner, fakes a three, back to Gunn, a right side three on the way. That's no good. Rims out, rebound taken down by McAndrew for Creighton. The Blue Jays on the move. Ashworth head of the key, hesitation dribble, drives right, stops mid post. And a pass to Coltbrenner. Turnaround hook with the left hand. An air ball. DePaul comes up for the rebound. Here's Blocker across the line off to the right. Blocker. Diagonal spin to the middle. Stops the dribble. Loops a pass. Inside Benson all alone. A two-handed stop. What a look from Layden Blocker. DePaul goes up 40-23. Creighton ball left of the lane. It's Coltbrenner. Turn around. And he lofts in an easy layup. 40-25 the score. DePaul with the lead. Nearly 3 minutes gone by here at the start of the second half.
They're getting the ball into Ryan Coltbrenner a couple times early in the half, but they're going to need other people contributing.
And now a steal. Ashworth takes the ball away from Blocker. He's out in front. And the chase down block by Blocker is called a foul. So Ashworth, one of the best free throw shooters in the country, heads to the line to shoot two.
One of the few mistakes this team has made here, a turnover leading to a breakaway. Ashworth trying to get ahead of Layden Blocker. Blocker almost came up with a good block there, but Stephen Ashworth, remember, 0 for 8 from the field today, 0 for 5 from 3. This is his first chance to get on the board. Not his first chance, but the first time that he's on the board. That's his first point. He knocks down that first free throw. First points of the game for Stephen Ashworth.
So it's now 40-26 DePaul. 3 minutes gone by, second half. Blocker sits. And David Thomas is out there for DePaul. Second free throw by Ashworth is good. So it's now 40-27 Blue Demons. 16:59 to go. Second half, quarterfinal round, Big East tournament. Full court pressure by Creighton. The Blue Jays don't normally do this. Gunn trapped in the far corner. Feeds to Miko straight away. Back to Gunn along the far sideline. And he just crosses the line in time. Now David Thomas has the ball just to the left of that huge Big East tournament logo at center court. Thomas blows by Ashworth. Drives under the basket. Angle cut off by Coltbrenner. And now a pass knocked out of bounds in the far corner along the end line as Thomas and Rivera could not communicate properly. Creighton ball.
You know what's incredible? This Creighton team, does this look like what Georgetown's trying? People are trying gimmicks to try to stop this DePaul team right now. Georgetown with the full court traps. Creighton trying something different now here in the second half.
Creighton ball. Green's got it off to the right. Loops the pass inside Coltbrenner. Triple team right on the lane. Feeds Green along the baseline on the right side. Now it's Ashworth who dribbles off to the right. Tried to launch a three, couldn't do it. Thomas in his drill, plays catch with Coltbrenner right of the circle. Coltbrenner will launch a three on the way, and he drills it from the right wing.
7 second half points here for Ryan Coltbrenner, carrying the offensive load by himself.
So, Dave, now it's a 7-0 run for Creighton. The Blue Jays within 10, 40-30 to score. DePaul with the lead. 15:58 to go, second half. Demons work the ball around the perimeter. Off to the right, D'Amico puts it on the floor. Bounce pass inside. Benson, shovel toss. Gunn at the free throw line. Floater with the right hand. Rattles it home.
CJ Gunn, that's on automatic. He knows Ryan Coltbrenner's in there in the lane. He just lobs over the top.
Ashworth drives left. Angle cut off by Rivera. Good defense. So Ashworth backs it out to the left corner. Plays catch with Coltbrenner. He's got it left side. He'll launch another three. And that goes down again.
Oh, my goodness. Ryan Coltbrenner, a one-man offensive show here in the second half.
Coltbrenner shoots it nearly 35% from three-point territory. DePaul 42, Creighton 33. Nearly 5 minutes have ticked off the clock here in the second half. Demons with the ball. Thomas head of the key. Off to the left of Miko. Fakes a three. Gets McAndrew up in the air. Now he drives. Kick out Gunn. Left side three. That's an air ball. Creighton comes up with the ball. Lead, feed, Neal. Off to the left in three-point territory. Neal penetrates under the basket. Angle cut off by Rivera. Feeds Coltbrenner on the mid-post. Up fake. Shots. Oh! Swatted away by Gunn! Lead feed to Miko and a two-handed stop! What a play! DePaul 44, Creighton 33. 14:40 to go in the second. Neal has it. Free throw line extended to the right. Now to Green. History from the corner. Doesn't go. Kalkbrenner the rebound, but we've got a foul on the play. It's on the Blue Demons. I believe Rivera whistled for the infraction. That leads to an official timeout. 14:36 to go. Second half. Quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. DePaul leading Creighton 44-33. But can we go back to what we just witnessed moments ago? C.J. Gunn with the huge block and Troy D'Amico on the other end with the flush.
Yeah, huge turnaround there. Obviously, we talked about in the first half and at halftime about Creighton certainly not going to lay down. They're one of the best teams in the Big East and a top team, and they're going to be coming into the NCAA tournament. And they're not going to – they play with a lot of pride. They're not going to lay down in the second half. Here's a little bit of a run. Ryan Kalkbrenner almost single-handedly has gotten them back into this game here with 10 quick points in the second half. He's exciting this Creighton crowd and his teammates, and if he can get them going and get them into this game, it's an 11-point game now. So this is a point where they're making a little bit of a run that we need to reestablish, and the play you just talked about, Zach, was a huge part of that. Kalkbrenner has a chance to get a layup. We get the turnover and a dunk at the other end.
Visit Myrtle Beach. Even Dibs knows everyone needs a timeout every now and then, so why not take yours at the beach? Myrtle Beach is home to 60 miles of warm, sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for your chance to win your very own beach break getaway. Compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/DePaul to enter. Your ultimate beach break is a click away. 14:36 to go. Second half, quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament, and the Blue Demons are up by 11 points, 44-33 over Creighton. The Blue Demons have been dominating play here today. They were up by 15 points at halftime and still have a double-digit lead here with 14:36 left in the game.
Going to the beach here sounds like a great idea. We maybe think about doing that after the season, but we're going to have to continue to delay those plans the way this Big East tournament has gone. We're going to be here working here hopefully longer than we expected to be. And the longer we're here, the happier we are. And we'll look forward to that beach vacation at the end of what will hopefully be a little bit longer at the end before the season's over for the Demons.
Yeah, the Blue Demons have never played in the Big East semifinal round, and they are 14:36 away from advancing to a Friday night game at Madison Square Garden for the very first time. Demons were up by as many as 17 points in the first half, and they still have an 11-point lead. Creighton has never led this game. It was tied at 2 in the early going, and it's been the Blue Demons ever since. DePaul 44, Creighton 33 with 14:36 remaining in the second half. DePaul is shooting 50% from the field, including 5 of 10 from three-point territory. Creighton, a team that shoots nearly 50% from the field, is 12 of 36 from the floor. That's 33%. So it'll be Creighton ball out of the timeout, front court, baseline left. Jason Green will trigger in. Gets the ball for the official. Jeff Clark holds it chest high, waits for a cutter, and loops a pass up high near the midcourt stripe straight away to Ashworth. Checked by Thomas. Now Neal's got it between the rings. Demons have switched up the defense. Off to the right, it's Neal. He dribbles to the top of the circle. Now left of the circle, it's Ashworth. Drives to the free throw line, hops up in the paint, floater on the right hand, rolls around the rim and drops it.
His first basket of the game. And they're within 10.
Ashworth now 1 of 9 from the field. DePaul 44, Creighton 35. Approaching 14 minutes to go in this ball game. And a steal by Ashworth. Took the ball away from Thomas. Out in front. Oh! Shot blocked by Benson! The chase down block! Demons come up with the ball! D'Amico's got it in the front court off to the right. Now in the corner, Thomas roams baseline and he dribbles off his foot out of bounds under the basket.
Demons making some mistakes here in the second half, but what a rundown block by N.J. Benson. He might have cracked that backboard with that block. Stephen Ashworth tried to get it up before he got there, but He slapped it against the backboard, almost went out the half court.
13:44 to go, second half. Creighton with the ball. Demons with the lead. McAndrew for three. Missed it from the right side. The ball bangs off the side of the rim and bounces out of bounds along the near corner. Blue Demons basketball.
The freshman McAndrew is another Blue Jay that is not having a good game. 1 for 7 from the floor. He knocked down 1 3. He's one of their primary guys. He's only got 3 points himself.
13 and a half minutes to go. Second half. DePaul 44, Creighton 35. Blue Demons with the basketball. D'Amico plays catch with Thomas at the head of the key. Thomas veers off to the left, directs traffic. Off a curled gun. Left corner, fakes a three. Roams baseline. Hops up in the paint. Working on Kalkbrenner. Fall away jump. Got it!
Again. Wow. He sees Kalkbrenner's eyes light up.
CJ Gunn, the Demons' leading scorer tonight with 14 points, and DePaul goes up by 11. 13 minutes to go here in this quarterfinal round. Inside pass, Kalkbrenner, turnaround hook with the right hand, missed the bunny! Rebound, Kalkbrenner, and we've got a whistle.
Kalkbrenner's starting to get the ball deeper now. That's why NJ Benson did a great job of forcing him out off that block, off the lane. That time he got deep, really deep inside, able to get his offensive board. He had a good look at it. Did get his offensive board, ball back to the Creighton.
Benson picks up his first personal. Gunn sits, blocker back in the game for DePaul. 12:54 to go, second half. DePaul 46, the number 2 seed Creighton 35, quarterfinal round Big East tournament. Kalkbrenner's got it, mid-post, right of the lane. Double team comes from Rivera, kick out, Neal takes a corner three, drives up top to Ashworth, and Ashworth will reset for Creighton. 10 to shoot for the Blue Jays. Ashworth, left-handed dribble, crosses over to the right. He drives right, gives to Kalkbrenner, free throw line jump. It bounces in at the front of the rim, bounced high in the air, and then dropped in.
Kalkbrenner now with 18 points, carrying the load for the Blue Jays.
12 and a half minutes to go. DePaul 46, Creighton 37. Demons basketball in the front court, off to the left. It's Layden Blocker. Between the legs with the riddle. Checked by Neal. Uses a Benson screen, rolls to the free throw line, hops up in the paint, stops the dribble, needs help, gives to Rivera right side. 10 to shoot. Rivera drives right, hangs in the air, layup. No, but he got fouled on the play. Isaiah Rivera going to the line to shoot two. Mason Miller whistled on the foul, and Miller took the brunt of that. An elbow to the face from Rivera. And Miller is on the deck, rolling around in pain, holding his face.
Miller fouled him with his nose there, I think, and that's a painful place to get hit.
Sounds like we're bringing up some bad memories for you there.
No, you want to be on the other side of that. You don't want to be the guy that got hit in the nose. You want to be doing the hitting.
Yeah, you don't have to experience it to know.
Watch. Yeah, I'll show you, Zach.
Wait till the commercial timeout. So Miller will head to the bench to be looked at by the Creighton trainer. And back in the game is Fedor Zugic, a reserve guard from Montenegro. Meantime, Isaiah Rivera at the line to shoot two for the Blue Demons. And now the officials have stopped play. They're going to the replay monitor to take a look at that last play.
See if that was a flagrant there. Anytime you get hit in the head above the shoulders, potential for a flagrant foul. It'd be unfortunate for the DePaul here. Everything been going their way so far.
So if you're just tuning in, here's the situation. 12-12 remaining, second half, Big East quarterfinal round. DePaul, the number 10 seed, looking to pull off one of the greatest upsets in DePaul history. Blue Demons have a 46-37 lead over the number 2 seed Creighton, and Pat Driscoll is taking a look at the monitor.
What a great camera angle here.
Here we go. I believe he's ready to make his decisions. So you heard the official Pat Driscoll say the previous play stands. Common foul. Isaiah Rivera will shoot two. Now, the reason I mentioned this would be one of the biggest upsets in DePaul history. DePaul has dropped 22 straight games to Creighton since the Blue Jays joined the Big East. Creighton is 25-1 against DePaul. The Blue Demons' only win came 10 years ago, 2015, in Omaha against these Blue Jays. To snap the streak tonight, oh, wow. And get to the semifinal round of the Big East tournament for the first time in school history. Now that would be something.
It really would be something. And they are playing well enough. We've seen this coming, Zach, but they have improved throughout the course of the season, and drastically towards the end of the season. They're on a 3-game winning streak right now. So they are obviously playing they're not only their best basketball, but they're playing very good basketball against a very good Creighton Blue Jay team. They're just outplaying them. It's not as if Creighton is missing open shots or there's been some fluke things going on here. You watch this game, both of us have said the same thing. If you just walked in and watched this game, you would not pick Creighton as the better team of these two teams today.
There's an official timeout. Blue Demon Nation, help bring the dream home. Make a gift today to the DePaul Athletics Capital Campaign and support more than 200 student athletes. Learn more and donate by visiting dreambigcampaign.depaul.edu. Zach Zaidman, Dave Corzine, high above the floor here at Madison Square Garden in Midtown Manhattan. 12-12 to go, second half of the quarterfinal round, and DePaul leading Creighton 46-37. We know one matchup in the semis tomorrow. That'll be St. John's, the number 1 seed, against Marquette. And then the other one will be decided over the next 12-12 here, plus what transpires after this game when UConn and Villanova play.
You know, this is a crucial game for Creighton. They expected probably to move ahead fairly easily here in the Big East tournament, but bigger than that is the following NCAA tournament, and Creighton's seed in that tournament is what they're thinking about. And if they take a loss here in the Big East tournament to DePaul, that's going to affect them when they get into the seeding for the NCAA tournament. So this is an important game for them. This isn't a game that they can let go and not worry about. They're looking to not only win a Big East championship, but again, this is critical for them in the seeding for the NCAA tournament. A loss here would really hurt.
Yeah, Creighton coming in with a record of 22-9, 15-5, not ranked in the top 25, but receiving votes in both polls. Right, 12-12 remaining in the second half. DePaul 46, Creighton 37. Isaiah Rivera will head to the line and shoot two. He was fouled on a driving layup attempt before the official timeout. The leading scorer for the Blue Demons tonight is C.J. Gunn. He's got 14 points, while Ryan Coltbrenner, first team All-Big East, has 18 points to lead Creighton.
Coltbrenner upset that he didn't win Player of the Year in the Big East, and certainly Creighton fans think that he deserved it.
That went to R.J. Lewis of St. John's. So Rivera's first free throw rims out. He'll get one more. 2 team fouls on Creighton, 3 team fouls on the Blue Demons. DePaul up 46-37. 12-12 to go here in the second half. Rivera bends the knees. He snaps the right wrist and missed the second. Coltbrenner the rebound into the hands of Ashworth. Across the line straight away. Now we'll slow it down and run the Creighton offense. Demons playing half-court man-to-man. Off to the left, Sugic, checked by Rivera. Ashworth has it left of the circle. Blocker guarding him. 15 to shoot. Coltbrenner, three-point range to left. Hands off to Ashworth. Three. And that goes down.
Yeah, he's starting to feel a little bit now. That's his second basket. He had a couple little breakaways there that got him involved in the game.
So now it's a 6-point advantage for the Blue Demons. DePaul was up by as many as 17 points. 11 and a half minutes to go here in the second half. Demons work the ball around the perimeter. Right of the circle, Rivera uses a screen, gives to D'Amico off to the left. Back to Rivera, who's got it. Left of the lane, backing in on Neal, mid-post. He rolls inside the paint. Up fake, up fake. Now a pull-away hook shot blocked by Neal, who comes up with a loose ball. Creighton on the move. Neal across the line off to the right. Accelerates to the hole, and a foul's been called.
Troy D'Amico there picks up that foul. That will be the 4th team foul. And here we go. A 6-point game. DePaul running away with it in the first half. 6-point game now. So we talked about, you knew Creighton was going to make a run. Now DePaul has to show some backbone here and defend it.
Benson sits, Gunn back in the game. So the Demons go small. The only big man out there is the big forward, Troy D'Amico. Sugic will trigger in, front court, baseline right. Holds the ball chest high, waits for a cutter, loops a pass up high over the head of Coltbrenner, who picks it up in the backcourt and spins into the front court off to the left. A bounce pass head of the key, McAndrew. A 3 on the way. Back rim, no good. Too strong. Rebound taken down by Gunn for DePaul. Into the hands now of Blocker. Across the line off to the right. Blocker loops a pass to Gunn. He drives, hops up in the paint, whirls baseline on Coltbrenner. Pass to the middle, ball knocked away. It's loose, diving for it, a whole bunch of bodies, and we've got a whistle. Timeout. They say DePaul had possession. CJ Gunn dove in there. I think Coltbrenner was also in there among the trees.
Coltbrenner and McAndrew are on the floor along with CJ Gunn there.
And it was Gunn who corralled the ball, quickly called time. It was granted by official Brent Hampton. Creighton can't believe it. Greg McDermott, the Blue Jays head coach, walked all the way to half court. He is steaming, man. Does not believe DePaul had possession, but according to the officials, the Blue Demons do, and time was granted. So 10:48 to go here in the second half. It's DePaul 46, Creighton 40. What a heads-up play by C.J. Gunn.
Yeah, he got down there and out-wrestled two big Creighton players, two of the biggest guys on the floor. Came up with the ball. Not only come up with the ball, but he had the ability or the sense to quickly call a timeout and get out of that scrum and get to the bench and start to readjust and make adjustments here and there. This, I don't know. I'm so excited, Zach. That first half, we were excited about how great they played. Now the score is tightening up, and now we're going to see. Now we got a ball game here in the second half. Can DePaul withstand this push by Creighton and hold them off? Or now this is a whole different psychology here. What's going on here in the second half?
46-40 the score. DePaul with the lead over Creighton. 10:48 remaining in the second half. It's the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. Demons have gone scoreless for the last nearly 2.5 minutes of action. DePaul led by as many as 17 points in the first half. Demons were up by 15 at the halftime break. DePaul has never trailed. The game was briefly tied at 2 early, and DePaul has led throughout since then.
More and more people filling up in the stands here. We're getting a bigger and bigger crowd.
Well, the reason for that is the game that follows this one is UConn and Villanova. UConn travels as well as any college program, and Storrs, Connecticut is just a stone's throw away from New York City. So the Huskies always load up. It seems like the entire state of Connecticut comes here to Madison Square Garden to root on UConn in the Big East tournament. The only time that may change is if UConn takes on this revamped St. John's program that Rick Pitino's got. And if they should meet, that would be one whale of a battle in terms of on the floor and in the stands. But the Blue Demons right now trying to get to a point where they may perhaps face UConn or Villanova tomorrow night. And what a deal that would be for the Blue Demons. They have never advanced to the Big East semifinals, but they're 10:48 away if they can take care of business here down the stretch. DePaul with a 6-point lead over Creighton, 46-40. Demons enter the tournament as the number 10 seed, Creighton the 2nd seed.
You know, everybody that's a Blue Jay fan here is exhaling and thinking, okay, we got this back under control. They had a good first half, but it's a 6-point game, and let's see what the Demons can do.
13 to shoot, and Layden Blocker puts it in play. He loops a pass to D'Amico right corner. Diagonal pass up high, David Thomas. And now it's C.J. Gunn between the rings. 8 to shoot. Rivera has it off to the left. Rivera puts it on the floor. Feeds D'Amico. Now extra pass. Blocker doesn't look at the shot clock. Step back 3 from the left corner. Rattles it home. Oh, wow. Layden Blocker. Deep 3 from the corner with the shot clock running down. DePaul goes up by 9. 49-40 over Creighton. Approaching 10 minutes remaining in the game. Left corner, Neal. Holds the ball knee high, loops it to Coltbrenner. Mid-post left of the lane, backing in, whirls baseline. Double team comes from Thomas, and it's Thomas called on the foul.
Once again, Troy D'Amico really doing a good job defensively over obviously a much bigger, stronger player. But he had him well off the lane, well off the low block there. And that's what you try to do. You can't stop him from making the shot or taking the shot, but you can make it a lower percentage shot.
Ashworth the trigger in front court, baseline left,
Rose
and he bounces it out of bounds along the far sideline. Turnover, Creighton on an inbound play. It'll be DePaul ball.
Here we have a chance to open up, again, a double-figure lead. So we have withstood One rush by the by Blue Jays to cut it to 6. Let's see if we can open it up again.
10 minutes to go. DePaul 49, Creighton 40. Blocker drives, hopped up in the paint, full knocked away, picks it up, gives to D'Amico off to the right. Now in the corner, Rivera roams baseline, up fake, wild layup, rattles it home with the offhand, went with the left from the right side. DePaul 51, Creighton 40. 9:49 to go here in the second half.
This is what we were talking about. Could they withstand the run?
DePaul has a motto under Chris Holtman, don't flinch. They haven't. A pass inside to Colbrenner. You heard the whistle. A foul has been called.
Shorty D'Amico again, overmatched in the lane, trying to push him off the block and kind of bear hugged him there, picked up the foul. Better than maybe better than giving him what would probably be a high percentage shot in the lane.
NJ Benson re-enters. D'Amico will sit after picking up his third personal. 9:39 to go. Second half. DePaul 51, Creighton 40. Zugic to trigger in for the Blue Jays. Front court baseline right. He gives to Neal in the right corner. 20 to shoot for Creighton. Faulkner has a mid-post right of the lane. Hop step in the paint. CJ Gunn comes in. Held ball! Held ball! Possession arrow pointing DePaul's way.
Ryan Kalkbrenner really trying to do more than he typically does. He's there for lobs and offensive rebounds, and now he's trying to put the ball on the floor and take it to the hoop.
And Dave, full court pressure by Creighton. Demons break it. Blocker across the line, off to the right. Blocker accelerates to the hole. Missed the two-handed jam. Ball loose under the basket. It rolls out of bounds along the near corner. They say it was last touch by NJ Benson of the Blue Demons. Chris Holtman wants the officials to take a look. They're not, and it'll be Creighton ball.
You talk about a highlight reel play. He went over Kalkbrenner there and almost had an amazing finish.
Demons up by 11, approaching 9 minutes to go in the game. Quarterfinal round, Big East tournament. Creighton with the ball. Neal fouled on a drive attempt.
That's the 7th team foul now on DePaul. So the rest of the way, 9:09. Creighton will go to the free throw line. They're a good free throw shooting team. And free throws will be in court, and they're still down by 11.
Yeah, the big story there is that C.J. Gunn picks up his 4th personal
Yeah,
at the
that is.
9:09 mark. Gunn is the leading scorer for the Blue Demons with 14 points here tonight. And
Freshman comes in.
yeah, Chris Riddle, a seldom used freshman from Kenwood Academy, is going to play the biggest minutes of
It's a
his
Cinderella
life.
story.
All right, Jemiah Neal at the line for a 1-and-1. Neal bends the knees, flicks the right wrist, and rattles home the first free throw for Creighton. So it's now a 10-point game. DePaul 51, Creighton 41. 9:09 to go here in the second half.
Creighton with 20 second half points. They only had 21 points the whole first half.
The second free throw is also good.
They matched that now with 9:09 to go.
DePaul 51, Creighton 42. 9:09 to go. Full court pressure by the Blue Demons. Thomas trapped in the far corner, tries to spin out of it, loops it past the blocker who just crosses the line straight away. Penetrates, stops, mid-post, kick out behind him. Thomas drives right, stops at the free throw line, off to the left, blocker behind the arc. Head of the key now, it's Isaiah Rivera, shakes the shoulders, drives right, angle cut off by Trout, passes up by the blocker with under 10 to shoot. Blocker, off balance three, drills it from the left of the circle. Leading blocker from downtown. DePaul 54, Creighton 42. 8.5 minutes to go. And now Neal dribbles off his foot and retrieves the ball near the midcourt strike straight away. He veers off to the left, gets to the free throw line, pull-up jump on the way. Back rim, doesn't go. Rebound, Trout, reverse layup, banks it home right to left. 10-point game. Coming up on 8 minutes to go here in this quarterfinal round. DePaul 54, Creighton 44. Blue Demons with a basketball. David Thomas has it off to the right. Verbally calls out a set play, uses a Rivera screen, drives right, gives the blocker in the corner. Now at the free throw line, it's Benson. Holds the ball over his head, loops it to Rivera, head of the key. Rivera, hesitation dribble, between the legs. He'll step back, left circle three! An air ball that bounces out of bounds off the hands of Riddle under the basket. So it'll be Creighton ball when we come back after this official timeout. 7:47 to go. Second half, Big East quarterfinals. It's DePaul 54, Creighton 44. Follow the Blue Demons wherever you go. The official DePaul Blue Demons app features live and on-demand video content, in-game stats, score updates, the latest apparel, and more. Download the official DePaul Blue Demons app today at DePaulBlueDemons.com/app. And Dave, once again, another 4-minute sequence from official timeout to official timeout where the Blue Demons have the lead. And this has been the story all game long. DePaul has been in control. Creighton might make a little bit of a push. DePaul withstands. The motto inside that locker room, don't flinch. They haven't.
Amazing the way they played here. A big lead, obviously, in the first half. Creighton cuts it to 6, and I think everybody at Madison Square Garden is starting to think, okay, Creighton better team. They've got it under control. They're only down by 6 with plenty of time to go. What happens? DePaul matches there with a 6-0 lead to push it back up to a 12-point game. They've got it back to double figures now at 10. And every time that clock starts running, 7:47 to go, you don't want to start playing the clock yet, but time is running out if the Creighton does not make another big push, or DePaul able to put a couple more baskets on the board here. It's going to be a really critical part of this game.
The Blue Demons have not had the services of J.J. Traynor since he apparently tweaked something, either an ankle or a foot injury early on in the game. He slipped at midcourt. So he's been out since then. C.J. Gunn on the bench with 4 personal fouls. And now that's the interesting dynamic here is how long can Chris Holtman go without putting Gunn back in the game. 7:47 remaining in the second half. DePaul 54, Creighton 44. At stake, a trip to the Big East semifinals. Demons have never been there in their entire time in the Big East Conference. DePaul has also lost 22 consecutive games to Creighton. The last time the Blue Demons beat the Blue Jays, 2015 in Omaha. Creighton is 25-1 against DePaul in Big East play, and that includes 2 games in the Big East tournament prior to this one here tonight. But this is a totally different DePaul team than years gone by. And we didn't really begin to realize it until the final week of the regular season when DePaul found something. They had a week off following a 10-point loss at Creighton before their next game on the road at Providence. And they used that time to come together without some of the injured players, starting point guard Connor Enright, without big man David Skogman, and they found a way to readjust. And they've won 3 games since and are looking good here tonight, up by 10 over the 2nd seed, Creighton, with 7:47 remaining in the Big East quarterfinal. It'll be Creighton ball out of the timeout. Creighton's got to go the full length of the floor. The 5 on the floor for the Blue Demons, Blocker, Rivera, and Thomas in the backcourt. The middleman is Benson, and the big forward is D'Amico. Jemiah Neal will bring it into the front court for Creighton. Left to right, he crosses the timeline. Kalkbrenner, head of the key, checked by Benson. Now it's Ashworth, top key 3. That doesn't go. Rebound, Kalkbrenner, layup, banks it home from the right side.
20 for Kalkbrenner now.
Full court pressure by the Blue Jays. Blocker's got it straight away. Blocker working on Ashworth, and he'll cross the timeline. 7:20 to go. DePaul 54, Creighton 46. Blocker drives left, stops, gives to Rivera at the free throw line. Rivera backs it out in the 3-point territory right of the circle. D'Amico, head of the key, holds the ball by his right hip. Gives to Thomas, 3-point range to the right. Thomas at the top of the circle. D'Amico free throw line extended to the right. Up fake, and he launches a wild shot off glass. It goes down, but it was a shot clock violation before he let fly. So a turnover by the Blue Demons.
Yeah, he got the shot off. He knew shot clock was running down, but he couldn't get clear.
All right, so 7 minutes remaining in the second half. DePaul 54, Creighton 46. Blue Jays with the ball. Off to the right, Neal behind the arc. Neal puts it on the floor. Roams baseline. Angle cut off by Rivera. Now it's Trump. Oh, right side 3. It goes down.
Here we go again. They make a little run. 5-point game. It's as close as they've been.
54-49. The DePaul lead. 6:40 remaining. Across the line, Blocker off to the left, being hounded by Ashworth, who pokes the ball away, and it goes into the backcourt, retrieved by Blocker. Blocker now drives left, right, and Kalkbrenner shot blocked by Kalkbrenner. Ashworth comes up with a loose ball. Ashworth across the line. Ashworth gives left side for Zugich behind the arc. Back to Ashworth, head of the key. He drives to the free throw line. Alley-oop. And we've got a foul on the play. He was looking for Colbert.
That's going to send him to the free throw line. DePaul with 17 fouls here in the second half. Creighton with only 2 team fouls.
6:17 to go. DePaul 54. Creighton 49, and Holtman has seen enough.
There you go.
He sends in C.J. Gunn. Even with the 4 fouls, Gunn has been such a steadying force for the Blue Demons. They need him out there. So Ryan Coltbrenner at the line for a 1-and-1, Dave. Creighton on a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes. The Blue Jays were down by as many as 17. Here's the first free throw by Coltbrenner. Back rim, it doesn't go in, but the rebound, Ashworth, left corner 3, no good. Ball batted up in the air and yanked down by C.J. Gunn for DePaul. Into the front court come the Blue Demons. Thomas has it off to the right. 6 minutes to go here in the second half. DePaul 54, Creighton 49. The Demons have gone scoreless for nearly 3 full minutes. Thomas has it left of the circle. 10 to shoot. Now Benson has it off the left, feeds Thomas, steps back, long 2 from the left baseline, no good. Sue gets the rebound, outlet Ashworth across the line. Neal's got it off to the left, pass inside, batted out of bounds along the far sideline by Gunn.
Big defensive play there by C.J. Gunn. Ryan Kalkbrenner running the floor. That's what he does so well. Creighton looks for him. They would have had an easy basket. C.J. Gunn got a hand on it.
Now Benson sits and Chris Riddle back out there for the Blue Demons. The only forward on the floor is Troy D'Amico for DePaul. Creighton ball with 26 to shoot. Neal triggers in, feeds Kalkbrenner underneath the basket, 2-handed jam.
Well executed inbounds play there by Blue Jays.
So now it's a 3-point game. DePaul 54, Creighton 51. 5.5 minutes to go. Quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. Thomas pulls by Ashworth. Kick out to Miko. Left side 3. Back rim doesn't go, and the ball bounces over the top of the backboard out of bounds. It'll be Creighton basketball with 5:22 to go. And the Blue Demons hanging on to a 3-point lead.
This is an open shot there by Troy D'Amico. He makes big shots in a lot of these games, and that's an interesting matchup to put him at Kalkbrenner.
So Benson back in, Riddle sits. Creighton ball. An opportunity to tie up the game with a tray. Neal head of the circle. Drives on the gun. Spins right of the lane. Up fake. Up high. Ashworth. Drives to the free throw line. Float on the right hand. It rolls around the rim. No good. Rebound Benson for DePaul, and he's fouled.
The frustration foul by the Blue Jays. Not going to be a shooting foul. It's only the 3rd team foul of the half.
The Demons on a scoring drought of nearly 4 minutes. Creighton's gone on a 9-0 run. DePaul 54, Creighton 51. Ashworth picks up his 3rd personal.
That was worth 2 for 14 from the field today.
The averages just about 17 points per game. N.J. Benson sits now, and Layden Blocker back in the game. So the Demons going small once again. D'Amico triggers in. He feeds Thomas straight away, and Thomas will cross the timeline off to the right. D'Amico left of the circle. Back to Thomas, head of the key. Thomas drives left, stops. Rivera, a right side 3, bullseye! What a huge shot for Isaiah Rivera! Ends the scoring drought of nearly 4 minutes. DePaul goes up by 6. Ashworth has it right of the lane. Up by Kalkbrenner. 4.5 minutes to go. 57-51 the score. DePaul on top of Creighton. Off to the right, Neal holds the ball over his head. Pass to the middle, taken away by Gunn. Out in front, and he's fouled by Ashworth.
Again, not a shooting foul, and the 4th team foul of the half for Blue Jays, so Demons will have it.
And the 4th personal on Ashworth. So Ashworth.
What a nightmare he's having.
Ashworth heads to the bench. He's 2 for 14 tonight from the floor in the 4 personals. And into the game is Ty Davis, a 6'4 freshman for Creighton. DePaul ball, 4:23 to go. Quarterfinal round. Off to the left, David Thomas. Diagonal pass up high, Blocker. Demons up 57-51. Rivera off to the right. Kick out to Miko. Top key 3. Bullseye again! Demons lighting it up from 3-point territory down the stretch. Another clutch tray for D'Amico. DePaul up 60-51. Niels got it off to the right in three-point territory for Creighton. Checked by D'Amico. Davis head of the keys. Now Trout in the left corner. Uses a screen. Spins up high. Green, left corner. Loops a pass inside. Faulkner left to the lane. The double team comes. Kick out Trout. Fakes a right side three. Launches a right side three. Missed the right side three. Hit the back of the rim. Blocker the rebound. And a foul called on Creighton.
Wayne Kalkbrenner, they're getting desperate now. He's going to the offensive boards, trying to get the ball back over the top of Layden Blocker.
3:42 to go here in the second half. You can kind of see the semifinals on the other side of the horizon. Can the Demons hold on? They've got on a 6-0 run over the last minute, and they've got a 60-51 lead over Creighton, the number 2 seed, with 3:42 remaining here in the second half of this Big East quarterfinal game. At DePaul University, students aren't just preparing for the real world, they're living in it. DePaul University awards scholarships to 98% of incoming freshmen. That's over $57 million in scholarships every year. Go all in pursuing your future. Start your application today at choose.depaul.edu. DePaul has never been to the Big East semifinals, but they're knocking on the door. As good of an opportunity as they've ever had. They came close 2 years ago, taking Xavier down to the wire before the Musketeers rallied to beat the Blue Demons. But this has been a different story tonight. DePaul has dominated this game. They've withstood every run by Creighton. The Blue Demons have never trailed. The game was briefly tied at 2. Since then, it's been DePaul on top. Demons led by as many as 17 points, Dave, in the first half. At the halftime break, DePaul was up by 15, and the Demons have maintained the lead the entire time here in the second half. 3:42 to go. DePaul 60, Creighton 51. This would be a monster upset, not just because Creighton is the number 2 seed, but because DePaul has dropped 22 consecutive games to this Creighton team. The Blue Demons haven't beaten the Blue Jays in 10 years.
He's showing a little backbone here. Creighton to cut it down to a 3-point edge, and it really seemed like finally, I'm sure everyone here is thinking, okay, they're going to come back and get this game, even though they haven't played well, or they have not necessarily not played well. They have been outplayed by the DePaul Blue Demons, but it looks like they finally cut it down to 3. One possession game with plenty of time left. What do the Demons do? Knock down a couple threes to, again, open it up to a 9-point lead. So they are hitting some huge shots, and they are earning this 9-point lead that they have right now with 3:42 to go.
The Blue Demons shorthanded without starting point guard Connor Enright, without big man David Skogman, both out for the year with injuries. They lost starting big man J.J. Traynor to some sort of lower leg issue early in the first half. C.J. Gunn's been playing with 4 fouls down the stretch here of the second half, and DePaul has withstood every punch that Creighton has attempted to apply. And Ryan Kalkbrenner is really the only Blue Jay doing damage. He's got 22 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 3 blocks. But the one-man show not enough to this point. He's getting no help. Stephen Ashworth, the Robin to Kalkbrenner's Batman, having a rough game with 7 points, 2 of 14 from the field. The sharpshooter from 3 is just 1 of 8 from behind the arc. And he's currently on the bench with 4 personals, and now he's hopped up, and he'll re-enter following the official timeout. DePaul 60, Creighton 51. Again, 3:42 remaining. The other thing to remember is Creighton has tried to apply full court pressure, but that's not really a part of the arsenal.
Yeah, it's interesting. Teams are trying to disrupt the Demons, doing different stunts. Demons making other teams adjust instead of the other way around.
So Troy D'Amico will trigger in. Demons have to go the full length of the floor against full court Creighton pressure. Blocker trapped along the far sideline, plays catch with D'Amico. The double team comes as he centers it, and now across the timeline off the left. Beats Thomas in the corner. 20 to shoot, so the Demons have plenty of time to get a good look here. Layden Blocker has it left of the circle. Checked by Ashworth, who has the 4 fouls. Rivera, right wing behind the arc. 10 to shoot for DePaul. Rivera drives to the free throw line. Kick out to Miko. They play catch up top. 5 to shoot. Do the Demons know it? Head of the key, Gunn. 3 on the way. No good. That was way off. Rebound taken down by Zugic for Creighton. Zugic across the line. Now Trout off the left. Looks a pass inside. Taken away by C.J. Gunn. He was looking for Kalkbrenner. Gunn knew it and yanked the ball away. DePaul 60, Creighton 51. Under 3 minutes to go here in this quarterfinal round. Driving straight down the lane, Blocker. Kick out Thomas for 3. No good from the left side.
Wide open look at that. Would have been a dagger.
Ashworth at the top of the circle. Bounces right. Gives to Neal behind the arc. Neal spins to the top of the key. Neal drives right, and Thomas whistled for a foul.
That's the 19th foul. This will be a 1-and-1. Everything after this will be double bonus. Only 5 team fouls on Creighton.
DePaul 60, Creighton 51, 2:36 remaining in the game. Now Creighton has gone on one of those long scoring droughts of 3 minutes.
Not much time left now. They continue that scoring drought for another 2:36. And DePaul is moving on.
Trout sits. McAndrew back in the game for the Blue Jays. And Jemiah Neal at the line for a 1-and-1. Neal, 7 points. 2 of 2 from the strike. Puts up the first. Short. He will not get a second. Thomas skies for the rebound. DePaul ball. 2.5 minutes remaining, Dave. It's DePaul 60, Creighton 51. Thomas across the line off to the right. Thomas with a hard right-handed dribble. Switches to the left. Looks to his right. Chris Holtman calling out a play. Now Thomas relays that play. Thomas drives right. Scoop layup. Reverse style. Banks it home. Right to left.
By Kalkbrenner.
DePaul 62, Creighton 51. Ball knocked away on the far sideline. Picked up by Zugic. 3-point range to the left. Now Ashworth, head of the key, fakes a 3, drives, kick out, Zugic, corner 3 from the left side, goes down.
Time's running out, minute 55 to go, an 8-point game.
That ends a scoring drought of about 3.5 minutes for Creighton. The Blue Jays call time, a minute 55 to go here in the second half. DePaul 62, Creighton 54. This would be the Blue Demons' biggest win since joining the Big East Conference. A victory to send the Demons to the semifinals for the first time since they joined the Big East Conference.
They've got possession and an 8-point lead with under 2 minutes to go in this game. Creighton's been coming out with full court pressure. They had Ryan Kalkbrenner at the top of the floor trying to get double teams on DePaul guards. He's been trying to do everything for this Blue Jay team. He's not the guy that they want out in double teams at the top of the floor and full court pressure, but it looks like they've got him in that position again. He's guarding the inbounder. He'll be the guy set in on the initial traps. I don't know why they don't have him back on the back end of this full court pressure, but they don't.
A minute 55 to go here in the second. DePaul 62, Creighton 54. At stake, a trip to the centers. D'Amico feeds, Blocker near sideline. Back to D'Amico, who centers it. It's a Gunn in the front court, off to the right. Now D'Amico's got it, and he's fouled at the midcourt stripe.
He's going to foul to give. That's the 6th-team foul. Next time the ball will go to the free throw line.
Now a minute 48 remaining here in the second half. DePaul 62, Creighton 54.
I think they're getting ready to try to put DePaul on the free throw line here. Time's running out. They're going to have to do something.
Gunn will trigger in. Front court, right sideline near the Blue Demons bench. Gunn can't find anyone. And yeah, a foul has been called on, I believe, McAndrew.
Guess who's going to the line? One of the best free throw shooters in the country.
Troy D'Amico was fouled. McAndrew held him as he was trying to break free to catch an inbounds pass. So Troy D'Amico will head to the free throw line for a one-on-one opportunity. And yeah, you're right, D'Amico, nearly a 90% free throw shooter this season for DePaul. Transfer from Southern Illinois, 6'7" senior who played his high school ball at Notre Dame College Prep in Niles.
I tell you, under 2 minutes to go. Let's see, Troy D'Amico here. 1-and-1. This is again, these are daggers.
Troy D'Amico bends the knees. He snaps the right wrist and missed the first of a 1-and-1. He will not get a second. Rebound Creighton. Ashworth has it, top of the key. Off to the left, Zugic. uses a screen, launches a deep three, and drains it. DePaul 62, Creighton 57. A minute 32 to go. Thomas trapped in the far corner, has to spin out of it. And what's the call here? They call a held ball. A Creighton player, McAndrew, got his hands in there. They call a held ball, and the possession arrow is pointing Creighton's way. So it'll be Blue Jays basketball in the front court along the far sideline. Jackson McAndrew sits and back in the game. McAndrew now roaming the baseline as the inbound passer will be Neal along the far sideline. He keeps Coltman off to the left. Now deep three for Ashworth. Short on the left side. Long rebound after Zugic left corner. So a fresh 20 for Creighton with a minute 17 to go. Head of the key. It's Coltman driving right, rumbling past D'Amico and banks home a layup. DePaul 62, Creighton 59. A minute 8 to go. Full court pressure by Creighton. Demons beat it. Blocker across the line off to the right. Blocker near the midcourt strike off to the right. Taking his time. 55 seconds to go in this game. DePaul 62, Creighton 59. Blocker now will make his move with 10 to shoot. Blocker at the head of the key. Drives to the free throw line. Kick out left side. Gun for three. Back rim, no. Ball batted up in the air. Yanked down by McAndrew for Creighton. Into the hands of Ashworth off to the left. 35 seconds to go. 62-59, the DePaul lead. Neal, left of the circle, puts it on the floor. Stops at the free throw line. Back out to Coltman. Hands off to Ashworth off to the left. Neal's got it. 3-point range to the left. And time called by Creighton head coach Greg McDermott. 23.9 seconds remaining in the second half. DePaul hanging on to a 62-59 lead over the second seed Creighton here in this quarterfinal round. When the Blue Jays trigger in, they'll have 14 to shoot.
I'm having a hard time breathing. This is an exciting game that we're watching here. It looked like, again, DePaul had a chance to really tuck this one away, almost a double-figure lead, a 9-point lead with about a minute to go. Creighton never giving up here, though. 3-point game in the ball.
The Blue Jays making a furious push. They're on an 8-0 run over the last 90 seconds here. DePaul has never trailed. Game was briefly tied at 2. And the Blue Demons have led throughout, up by as many as 17 in the first half, a 15-point halftime lead. And now the Demons trying to hang on and pull off the biggest upset in DePaul Big East history and advance to the semifinals for the first time. 23.9 seconds remaining. DePaul 62, Creighton 59. The Blue Jays will trigger in with 14 to shoot. In the front court, along the left sideline, Jemiah Neal will put it in play. Holds the ball chest high, waits for a cutter. Can't find anyone, and now Ashworth has it. Deep three from the left side. Oh, he knocks it down! Game tied at 62. Shot clock off, 18 seconds to go. Isaiah Rivera gets into the front court along the right sideline and calls time. Nothing is ever easy. 16.4 seconds remaining. The Demons will have the ball with an opportunity to win the game.
You know, I talked about this before the game started, that this was going to be a game that win or lose, the Demons would remember, everybody on this team will remember this game for the rest of their lives. March is the time where heroes are made, legends are made, and here we go. The Demons have led the entire game. We've got 16.4 seconds to go. Stephen Ashworth knocks down a huge three. He hasn't been able to even smell the basket for most of this game, having one of the worst games of his career. 3 for 16. Now, he took that shot from way behind the three-point line and had been shooting 2 for 15. He's got the stones to knock down a huge three, getting double figures with 10 points. And now, still, DePaul with possession. 16 seconds to go. They're going to have a chance to get their last shot off. Let's see what they're going to do.
It's the first time the game has been tied since it was 2-2 62
What a game.
early in the first half.
Everybody here at Madison Square Garden standing right now.
Creighton has rallied from 17 down to tie the game up at 62 on a deep three by Stephen Ashworth.
These people aren't even DePaul or Creighton fans. They're into it. I'm
Quarterfinal
sorry,
round.
Jack, I'm excited.
You should
Go
be.
ahead. Announce it.
Demons have an opportunity, Dave, to head to the semifinals in the Big East tournament for the first time in school history. 16.4 seconds remaining in the game. DePaul 62, Creighton 62. CJ Gunn will trigger in for DePaul in the front court along the right sideline. Rivera, blocker, D'Amico, and Thomas out there as well. David Thomas has the ball near the midcourt, strike straight away. Shot clock off. 10 seconds to go. David Thomas between the circles. 5 seconds remaining. Feeds D'Amico, left circle three, blocked by Copeland. Rivera picks it up. Turnaround three, air ball. And time runs out on regulation. Creighton made the big defensive stop, and we're headed to overtime. 62 all. DePaul and Creighton
Oh, my goodness.
here in the quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, Zach. What do you think?
Well, stick around. I
is
need
quite
you
a
for the
game.
rest of the game, Dave.
I don't know. You may have to take this home on your own. I'm an old man.
We're going to overtime. DePaul and Creighton tied at 62. Creighton with a furious push
I
at
don't
the
believe
tail
that
end
just
of
happened.
regulation.
I don't believe it. That was our game, beginning to end.
The Blue Jays went on an 11-0 run
Jeez.
over the final minute and 55 seconds of regulation to tie it up, and then made a huge stop in the closing seconds. Troy D'Amico looked like he had an open three left of the circle, and Ryan Kolkbrenner came out of nowhere and blocked the shot.
Did what he does.
So the Demons went on a scoring drought of 2+ minutes to end regulation. But the game isn't over. Now you have
Yeah,
to
it's not over.
you have to find a way to reboot and not allow what happened at the tail end of regulation to impact you.
How tired must Ryan Kalkbrenner be? He's been playing 37 minutes. He was the lead man on their full court traps down the stretch here. He's the guy that jumps out and blocks that shot by Troy D'Amico at the buzzer. He has been the man to be everywhere on the floor for the Blue Jays, as he has been all year long. And his sidekick hit a huge three, having a nightmare of a game. Hits the biggest shot of the night so far to put it into overtime.
Just an unbelievable turn of events in this game. The Demons were dominating throughout until the final 2+ minutes of regulation. DePaul up by as many as 17 points in the first half, a 15-point halftime lead. They led nearly the entire second half until Stephen Ashworth tied the game up with a deep three from the left side with under a minute remaining in regulation. So now we head to overtime.
What a game.
A 5-minute session to determine who advances to the Big East semis. Creighton has been there many times. The Blue Demons have never been to the semifinal round. Jumping tip for DePaul, N.J. Benson. Ryan Kolkbrenner will do the honors for Creighton. Official Jeff Clark at center court. And now time called by official Brent Hampton. He wants the players to separate, and we're ready. Ball up in the air, and the tap is controlled by Creighton. Moving from left to right from our vantage point, high atop the benches. Overtime underway in the Big East quarterfinals. 62 all. DePaul and Creighton. Zugic drives right and jams it in with both hands. A blow by past Isaiah Rivera. Creighton's got the lead for the first time tonight. 64-62. 4.5 minutes remaining here in overtime. Blocker drives left, hangs in the air. His shot,
That's
no.
the fifth on Ashworth.
And a foul's been called on Ashworth, you're right. And he is fouled out of the game. So Creighton loses its second most important player, senior point man Stephen Ashworth, is out of the game. And freshman Ty Davis, a seldom used guard from Mountain Brook, Alabama, re-enters.
Kalkbrenner now on the floor with 4 fouls. He has never fouled out of a basketball game at Creighton.
Layden Blocker will shoot 2. Creighton 64, DePaul 62. 4.5 minutes to go here in overtime. Blocker bends the knees, flicks the right wrist, and puts home the first free throw. 64-63. What a game. Creighton never led in regulation and jumped out in front with a jam to begin overtime.
CJ Gunn playing with 4 fouls. Ryan Kalkbrenner playing with 4 fouls.
Blocker knocks down the second free throw. It's tied at 64. DePaul and Creighton. 4:26 remaining here in overtime. Creighton works the ball around the perimeter. Neal drives, stops mid-post, spins, gives to Kalkbrenner, head of the key. Checked by D'Amico. Kalkbrenner driving left. Up fake, double team comes. Kick out McAndrew, 3 on the way. No good from the left side. Ball loose under the basket. Fight for the rebound. McAndrew has it. Layup, no. Pack back. That goes down. And Creighton retakes the lead. McAndrew tapped it home after his own miss. Creighton 66, DePaul 64. Under 4 minutes to go here in overtime. Demons with the basketball. Thomas off to the right. Backs it out. Verbally calls out a set play. Head of the key. It's Blocker. Puts it on the floor. Veers left. Now reverses it right. Pull up jump for the free throw line. Back rim. No good. Rebound Zugic for Creighton. Into the hands now of Davis. He'll cross the timeline straight away. Davis veers off to the right in three-point territory with a left-handed dribble. Gives left side for McAndrew. Diagonal pass up high. It's Neal. Zugic has it. Deep 3 from the left side. Back rim. No. Long rebound out to Isaiah Rivera of DePaul. The Demons are down by 2. 3:20 remaining here in overtime. Quarterfinal round of the Big East tournament. Rivera ahead of the key. Driving right. Backing in. Swirls inside the paint. Up fake. And the ball knocked away. Stolen by Kalkbrenner. Zugic poked it away, and Kalkbrenner grabbed the loose ball. Creighton basketball. 3 minutes to go in overtime. Creighton 66, DePaul 64. Ty Davis near the midcourt, strike straight away. Off to the right, it's Neal. Holds the ball over his head. Neal dribbles to the top of the key. Loops a pass, mid-post, right on the lane. Kalkbrenner has the ball poked away. Foul called on D'Amico.
That is the 10th DePaul foul, so Ryan Kalkbrenner will go to the line to shoot 2 here. It'll be the biggest lead Creighton's had if he makes either of these free throws. Up by 2 would be a 3 or 4 point lead. Biggest lead they've had in the game if he makes these.
2:47 remaining in overtime. Creighton 66, DePaul 64. Kalkbrenner at the line for 2. He's got 24 points, 0 of 1 at the stripe tonight. Kalkbrenner this season a 69% free throw shooter. He hits the first. And Creighton now up by 3, 67-64 over DePaul.
25th point of the night for Kalkbrenner.
This is so reminiscent of that regular season game that DePaul lost in overtime at Seton Hall. Demons led by as many as 19 in the second half. As Kalkbrenner knocks down the second free throw and makes it 68-64 Creighton. 2:45 to go here in overtime. Quarterfinal round Big East tournament. Blocker crosses the timeline and the Demons call time. Got to settle down here. Still plenty of time here in this extra session, but you kind of feel the game escaping the Blue Demons.
No.
And the motto has been, Dave, all season long, don't flinch. This is one of those moments, and you mentioned it. Do they have the backbone to withstand what's transpired here at the tail end of regulation and now here in overtime? DePaul has 1 timeout remaining. Creighton's got the lead here in overtime. 2:41 to go. Blue Jays 68, Blue Demons 64. Rush is proud to be the official health system and healthcare provider of DePaul Athletics, driven by discovery, innovation, and a deep responsibility for the health of our communities. Rush is a national leader in outstanding patient care, education, research, community partnerships, and empowering a new generation of healthcare providers. Visit rush.edu for more information and to find a location near you. So let's see what the Blue Demons come up with here to try and come up with a comeback.
Look at this.
2:41 to go.
So we got D'Amico with 4 fouls in the game, Blocker with 4 fouls in the game, CJ Gunn with 4 fouls in the game. Stephen Ashworth has fouled out. Ryan Kalkbrenner is playing with 4 fouls. He has never fouled out of a college basketball game. Right now he's 11 out of 16 from the field, 26 points. He has put this Blue Jay team on his back, and he's trying to carry him over the finish line now. 26 points, 8 rebounds. Demons have the ball down by 4, plenty of time, 2:41 to go. This game's a long way from over.
Chris Holtman and his assistants, they've been masters at designing plays out of timeouts that change the momentum of games. Boy, do they need one here. They got one last night on the inbound alley-oop tap-in by J.J. Traynor. What are they going to draw up here? The 5 on the floor for the Blue Demons: Rivera, Thomas, Blocker, Gunn, and D'Amico. So 4 guards and a big forward. It'll be Gunn who triggers in. Front court, right sideline. He throws it into the backcourt, and the ball is picked up by Layden Blocker for the Blue Demons. Across the timeline, off to the right in three-point territory. Blocker between the legs with the dribble. Diagonal pass up by Thomas. Puts it on the floor, stops the dribble at the head of the key. Bounce pass left side, ball taken away by Neal. A turnover out of a timeout by the Blue Demons. 2:22 remaining here in overtime. Creighton in no rush. Creighton up 68-64. Zugic, left wing, bounce pass inside, left of the lane. Kalkbrenner turns baseline, layup, banks it home.
This match up there with Isaiah Rivera.
A 6-point lead for Creighton with 2 minutes remaining in overtime. Demons with a basketball. Blocker off to the right. Head of the key, it's Thomas. Dribbles left, beats D'Amico at the top of the circle. Shovel toss, Rivera, and he's fouled by Davis.
19 foul on Creighton. There'll be a 1-and-1.
So Isaiah Rivera
Not a good
headed
free throw shooter.
to the free throw line. You mentioned it, just a 62% free throw shooter this season. Rivera tonight at the line is 1 of 4.
Look at CJ got his hands holding his pants up. Both hands on his knees. These guys are tired. What a game.
Rivera bends the knees, flicks the right wrist, and misses the free throw. Hit the back of the rim, rebound Neal. He will not get a second. 1:48 to go here in overtime. The Demons have gone ice cold. A scoring drought of nearly 3 minutes here in the extra session. Creighton up 70-64. 1:39 to go. Davis off to the right. Drives past Thomas. Banks on the layup with the left hand. That may have been a huge dagger. Into the front court off to the left. Layden Blocker. Blocker, diagonal spin to the middle. Oh, right-handed stuff as he returns serve on Davis. Creighton 72. DePaul 66. 1:15 remaining here in the extra session. Creighton in no hurry. Davis near the midcourt stripe straight away on that huge Big East tournament logo at center court. 1:05 to go. Creighton 72, DePaul 66. And the ball taken away by Gunn. Lead feed to Blocker. Right side 3. Bullseye! Bullseye! What a play by C.J. Gunn. Took the ball away from Davis. Found Blocker. Wide open 3. And the Demons refusing to quit. 57 seconds remaining here in overtime. It's Creighton 72, DePaul 69. What a game.
What a game is right. Look at CJ Gunn though right now. He's having a hard time even walking to the bench. He's really in some pain there. He's limping, noticeably limping here. I don't know what his issue is, but I don't know. He can stay on the floor.
He's out there. C.J. Gunn, as tough as they come. Dave, he's not leaving the game.
Oh, who would leave the game now?
57 seconds to go here in overtime. Creighton 72, DePaul 69. The Demons will now apply full court pressure. Zugic to trigger in. He feeds Davis straight away. Now the Demons drop back. Davis will cross the timeline left to right. Davis off to the right in three-point range, and he's fouled by C.J. Gunn. C.J. Gunn is fouled out.
Yeah.
Gunn exits the game with 14 points. And now the Demons can essentially use this as a 30-second timeout. You get that much time to make a substitution when a player has fouled out of the ball game.
Oh, they only have one 30-second timeout left. Creighton with one full timeout and one 30-second timeout left. 3-point game right now. Creighton's going to go to the free throw line. Double bonus.
Sorry, Dave. NJ Benson re-enters with Gunn fouling out. 48.6 seconds to go here in overtime of the Big East quarterfinals. Creighton 72, DePaul 69. Creighton with a furious rally to tie it up at the tail end of regulation. An 11-0 run. The Blue Jays did not take their first lead until the first possession of overtime. And now Ty Davis, a freshman from Mountain Brook, Alabama, will shoot 2 free throws. 5 of 11 from the stripe this season. He missed the first, hit the back of the rim, no good.
Why not keep it exciting right down to the last tick on this clock? Come on, Demons.
Ty Davis, never expected to be in a moment this big.
This big freshman here.
Davis, 6'4", bends the knee, splits the right wrist, and hits the second free throw. So it's now Creighton 73, DePaul 69, 48.6 seconds remaining in overtime. Across the line off to the right blocker, driving to the hole, and a whistle.
It's going to be a foul. They're going to go to the line. That's going to be the 10th team foul on Creighton. So double bonus here. Leighton Blocker, you're going to the line, chance to cut it to a 2-point game.
Blocker is DePaul's leading scorer tonight with 16 points, including 2 of 2 at the free throw line tonight.
Plenty of time left, 44 seconds to go on the clock. If he knocks down these free throws, it'll be a 2-point game, and they will have time to get the ball back. And either way, no matter what Creighton does, they'll get another possession.
Blocker knocks home the first free throw. 3-point game, Creighton 73, DePaul 7. 44.6 seconds remaining here in overtime. The winner heads to the Big East semis. The next free throw is also good for Leighton Blocker. DePaul down 2 with 44.6 seconds remaining in overtime. Creighton basketball. Ty Davis, the freshman, will bring it up across the line left to right. Into the front court, now immediately greeted by Leighton Blocker. Demons playing half-court man-to-man. Davis dribbles off to the left. Tries to penetrate, ankle cut off. He feeds Neal right of the circle. Working on Rivera. 10 to shoot. Kalkbrenner head of the key. Checked by Benson. Kalkbrenner will launch a 3 on the way. Missed it from the top of the key. It was short. Rivera the rebound. Demons can tie or take the lead. Shot clock off. 12 seconds to go here in overtime. Creighton 73. DePaul 71. 5 seconds to go. Blocker drives. Runner with the right hand. It rolls in. Demons tie up the game. 1.3 seconds remaining in overtime. Timeout, Creighton. Wow. Leighton Blocker in the closing seconds of overtime number 1. A righty runner to even the score.
Right over Ryan Kalkbrenner. Boy, it looked like in regulations the Demons had it. It looked like in overtime it was going to go Creighton's way. 1.3 seconds to go. Creighton will have to go full court with it. Not much time left, but anything could still happen. We've seen a lot happen already.
DePaul's motto all season inside their locker room: don't flinch. And the Demons have not flinched tonight, even after squandering the lead in regulation. After falling behind early here in overtime, DePaul has rallied back 73 all. And they've gone to the scorers table, the officials have, and they've reviewed that last play, and they've determined that 1.8 seconds remain here in overtime.
That's what they were doing, checking the clock to make sure that the clock is right. There's not a lot of time. Creighton's going to have to inbound it full court. You know what they're going to look to do. They've got Ryan Kalkbrenner under the basket.
Each team, Dave, has 1 timeout remaining. Each team in the double bonus. 1.8 seconds to go. Overtime number 1. Big East quarterfinals. DePaul 73, Creighton 73.
Look around here. It is filled up here in Madison Square Garden, and everybody in here is on their feet. There's some Creighton fans in here, a few DePaul fans, but these people all came to watch the next game, and we're getting an opportunity to see one of the best playoff games, conference games they've ever seen.
Creighton has to go the full length of the floor with 1.8 seconds remaining in overtime. Jason Green will trigger in. A baseball pass knocked away by the Blue Demons, picked up by Blacker, half-court heave, off glass, no! And we head to overtime number 2 in the Big East quarterfinals. 73 all, DePaul and Creighton. What a night here at Madison Square Garden.
I don't know if you'll see many better games than this. You talk about excitement in March. I don't know who's listening to us or who's watching this on TV, or I see that this Madison Square Garden is almost completely filled up, and they are loving this game just as everybody else watching all over the country on TV or listening to us here on the radio. It doesn't get much better than this.
Just an unbelievable evening for the Blue Demons. And yeah, you can say DePaul squandered a big lead, but I said earlier, this was reminiscent of that game at Seton Hall when DePaul squandered a big double-digit lead in the second half.
DePaul's played a number of overtime games.
Seton Hall ended up taking the Blue Demons to overtime. The Pirates took their first lead of that game in the extra session. Creighton is not Seton Hall. Creighton is the number 2 seed in the Big East. And yeah, the Blue Demons squandered that lead late. Creighton went on an 11-0 run in regulation to send the game into overtime. And on the first possession of overtime, Creighton took its first lead of the game. The Blue Jays went up by as many as 8 points in the extra session, but the Demons clawed back. Layden Blocker, a runner, in the closing seconds of overtime number 1 to tie the game up at 73. And now we head to overtime number 2. 73 all, DePaul and Creighton here in the Big East quarterfinals. Creighton is the number 2 seed. DePaul, the 10th seed. Demons got here by knocking off the 7th seed Georgetown in last night's ball game. DePaul has never been to the Big East semis. DePaul hasn't beaten Creighton since 2015. The Blue Demons have dropped 22 consecutive games to the Blue Jays. DePaul is 1-25 against Creighton since the Blue Jays joined the Big East Conference. What a night this would be if the Demons can take this game tonight.
Looking at fouls here, Zach. We've got obviously Ashworth out of the game, CJ Gunn out of the game, D'Amico playing with 4, Layden Blocker playing with 4, and Ryan Kalkbrenner playing with 4 fouls. He has never fouled out of a college basketball game.
Benson and Kalkbrenner will jump tip as we get set for overtime number 2. Ball up in the air. Demons control the tap, moving from right to left from our vantage point high atop Madison Square Garden. Overtime number 2 underway here in the Big East quarters. Blocker has it. Hop step in the paint. Stops the dribble. Rivera head of the key. Uses a screen. Veers right. Reverses it. Hop step in the paint. Now left of the lane. And he'll throw it up high for Layden Blocker with 10 to shoot. Blocker uses a Benson screen. Dribbles left. Floater up with the right hand. Short. A one-handed rebound for Neal and the Blue Jays. Creighton basketball. 30 seconds gone by here in the second overtime. 73 all. DePaul and Creighton. Ty Davis, head of the key. Off to the right, Neal behind the arc. Neal drives. He's along the baseline. Almost fell backwards out of bounds. Maintained the dribble. Gives to Kalkbrenner right of the circle. Hands off to Zugic, head of the key. Zugic drives left, hangs in the air, layup, banks it home.
Oh, we got another guy down here for the Demons.
Layden Blocker hit the deck. He's hopping on his left foot, apparently injured.
This is a war.
His right foot or ankle. He's bent over at the waist and tying the laces on his right shoe.
Taping aspirin to it.
He's refusing to leave, just trying to walk off the paint, still hopping around, not even looking at the DePaul bench. Layden
Play
Blocker
on one leg.
is showing some grit here tonight for the Blue Demons. Transfer from Arkansas, a sophomore in his first year at DePaul. Creighton 75, DePaul 73. 4 minutes remaining here in overtime number 2 of this quarterfinal round game. David Thomas with the ball for the Blue Demons, head of the key. Thomas bounces off to the right in three-point territory. Now Benson has it, head of the key, holds the ball over his head, teeps to Miko, right of the circle. Miko spins by his man, hops up in the paint, flips it to Rivera, three-point range to the right with 8 to shoot. Now he steps back, tuck deep three, bullseye! Demons take the lead! Isaiah Rivera with a step-back three, 76-75. DePaul on top, 3.5 minutes to go here in overtime number 2. Davis with the ball off to the right for Creighton, feeds Coltwinter in the paint, spins, kick out. It's McAndrew for 3, missed it from the left side. A one-handed rebound for MJ Benson. Now Blocker's got it. Across the line, right to left, straight away. Approaching 3 minutes to go here in overtime number 2. DePaul 76, Creighton 75, and Neal takes the ball away. Off to the right, kicks it, ball loose. Davis has it, left of the lane for Creighton. Kick out Zugic, underhand toss, Neal left corner, checked by D'Amico. Now Neal drives, hopped up in the paint, missed the right-handed jam. Demons come up with the rebound. Layden Blocker's got it and crosses the timeline off to the right. What a wild sequence. 2:38 remaining here in overtime number 2. DePaul 76, Creighton 75. Blocker between the circles. Uses a D'Amico screen, spins right. Left side pass. Thomas for 3. That's no good. At the front of the rim. Rebound McAndrew into the hands of Neal. Creighton basketball in the front court. Neal off to the right. Crossover dribble. Angle cut off by Thomas. Left side pass McAndrew. Inside. Turnaround hook by Coltwinter. Goes down.
30 points now for Coltwinter.
And Creighton retakes the lead. 77-76 over DePaul. 2:04 remaining here in overtime number 2. And DePaul calls time. Back and forth they go.
I don't know you can watch a better college basketball game in March than what you're seeing right here.
2:04, Dave, remaining here in overtime number 2. At stake, a trip to the Big East semifinals. Creighton with a 77-76 lead over DePaul. Moments ago, Isaiah Rivera stepped back and hit a deep 3 from the top of the key to briefly give DePaul a 1-point lead here in the second overtime, only to have Creighton come right back and have Coltwinter knock down a hook shot in the paint to put Creighton on top. Coltwinter, as you mentioned, with 30 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks. Blocker leading the Blue Demons with 20 points to go along with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals.
It's a battle of attrition right now. Guys are limping. Layden Blocker really playing on one leg right now. We've got some of the best players. CJ Gunn fouled out. Stephen Ashworth fouled out. Guys playing with 4 fouls. And we've already got JJ Traynor was injured out of the game. MJ Benson was limping. And like I said, Layden Blocker still in the game, but limping on one leg.
DePaul ball, 2:04 remaining here in overtime number 2. Down by 1 to the second seed Creighton. Off to the right. Layden Blocker between the legs with the dribble. Checked by Zugic. Blocker at the head of the key. Flips to D'Amico, left of the circle. He'll launch for 3. Back rim, no. Rebound, Coltwinter. 1:45 to go here in the second overtime. Creighton 77, DePaul 76. The Blue Jays with a basketball. Neal's got it off to the left. Zugic, left wing behind the arc. Bounces it inside. Coltwinter turns baseline. Layup. Banks it home with the right hand.
On the switch again, he was matched up with Isaiah Rivera on the block. Not good for the Demons.
Creighton 79, DePaul 76. 1:24 to go here in overtime number 2. Demons have gone scoreless for 2+ minutes. Blocker drives right, hangs in the air. Oh, shot swatted out of bounds by Coltwinter. It remains DePaul ball.
I don't know if you can see a guy dominate the game, control the game on both ends the way Ryan Coltwinter is. And he wasn't player of the year. He's certainly playing that way here tonight. What a game he is having.
5th block of the game for Coltwinter. Demons will have 18 on the shot clock when they put it in play. Front court baseline right. 1:17 remaining, overtime number 2. 79-76, the Creighton lead. Blocker has to trigger in. He loops a pass up high, stolen by McAndrew. Lead feed Davis going right at Jacob Meyer. Now Neal, a right-handed stuff, flying in from the right baseline. 1:06 to go. Creighton 81, DePaul 76. Huge defensive play by the Blue Jays. At the head of the key, it's Thomas driving left. Angle cut off. Bounce pass, Blocker, and he jams it in with both hands straight down the middle of the lane.
We got one leg left, but he's using it.
53.8 seconds remaining here in overtime number 2. Timeout, Blue Demons. Creighton with an 81-78 lead.
That's crazy. This is one of the greatest games. I'm sure they talk about the Big East tournament and tournament games in March. This is a fantastic game. Both of these teams are putting it all out on the floor. Ryan Kalkbrenner has having one of the best games I've seen. It got 32 points on 14 for 20 shooting, 9 rebounds. He's 1 rebound away from double-double. 4 fouls. He's out there playing. He has never fouled out of a college game. He's out there playing with 4 right now. But he has done everything for these Blue Jays. And we've had multiple guys step up for the Demons. C.J. Gunn, their leading scorer, is fouled out now, but Leighton Blocker is picking up the slack.
Does DePaul have another comeback ready here in overtime number 2? 53.8 seconds remaining. Creighton 81, DePaul 78. Says shades of that Syracuse-UConn 6 overtime game here in the Big East tournament years ago. One where Eric Diefendorf ended up jumping on the scorer's table in jubilation for the Orange. All right. So it'll be Creighton basketball. Out of the timeout, Blue Jays have to go the full length of the floor. 54.1 seconds remaining here in the second overtime. Blue Jays 81, Blue Demons 78. Ty Davis will trigger in. Blue Demons applying full court pressure. 3 guys, triangle formation. Now the Demons drop back as Jemiah Neal will bring it up across the line, left to right, straight away for Creighton. 45 seconds to go here in overtime number 2. Creighton in no rush. Blue Jays up 81-78. 40 seconds to go. Neal bounces left, checked by Rivera. Off a curl, Zugic left wing behind the arc. Bounces it inside Kalkbrenner. The double team comes from Blocker. Kalkbrenner spins out of it with 5 to shoot. Now drives baseline, layup, missed the body. Rebound, Davis, and he's fouled. And that may have done it. The freshman from Mountain Brook, Alabama, Ty Davis, who has rarely played in the biggest moments of his Big East life, with a huge rebound here with 25.3 seconds remaining in overtime number 2. And Davis will go to the line and shoot 2.
Fouls on Isaiah Rivera.
Davis bends the knees, flicks the right wrist, and knocks home the first free throw. It is now 82-78. Creighton over DePaul with 25.3 seconds to go.
How many heroes have we had here tonight?
This would be as crushing of a defeat as the Blue Demons have had in a season full of heartbreakers. The second one, also good for Davis. It's now 83-78 Creighton. 25.3 seconds remaining in overtime number 2. Blocker across the line for the Blue Demons, head of the key. Hands off to David Thomas, left of the circle. Shakes the shoulders at the top of the key. Gets to D'Amico. 17 seconds remaining. D'Amico hop step in the paint. Kick out Blocker. Deep 3, top key. Off glass, banks it home. 2-point game with 11.9 seconds to go. And Davis is fouled. 9.9 seconds remaining here in the second overtime. Creighton 83. DePaul 81. Leighton Blocker having one of his best games ever. 25 points for the Blue Demons tonight.
Not one of his best games ever. What an amazing game. Remember, he's playing basically on one leg here too while he's pulling off these miracles.
Now Ty Davis back at the line to shoot 2.
What a spot for a freshman.
Blocker tying his career high at 25 earlier this season against Butler. Davis puts up the first and puts it in at the front of the rim and had it drop in. So it's a 3-point game now.
No timeouts left for DePaul.
Creighton
Creighton's
84.
got 2 30s.
Creighton 84, Dave DePaul 81. 9.9 seconds remaining. The second free throw goes down. Ty Davis, the freshman, coming up huge here for Creighton.
Creighton takes the timeout.
9.9 seconds remaining. It's a two-possession game. Creighton with an 85-81 lead over DePaul here in overtime number 2 of this Big East quarterfinal.
We thought this game was over 2 times already in regulation and in the first overtime. It looked like the game was going to end. It didn't, and it might not end this time. DePaul this time needs to pull off another miracle.
DePaul never trailed in regulation. Creighton took its first lead on the first possession of overtime number 1. Blue Jays went up by as many as 8 points in the first overtime. Demons tied it up. Layden Blocker's runner in the closing seconds of the first overtime sent us here to overtime number 2. Now the Demons down by 4 with 9.9 seconds remaining in this second overtime. Troy D'Amico will trigger in. Demons have to go the full length of the floor. No timeouts. Center pass now to Blocker. He'll cross the timeline off to the left. Blocker hands off to Rivera at the head of the key. A 3 on the way. Short rebound. Thomas back to Rivera. Top key 3. No good. And the Demons' season is over. A heartbreaking loss in double overtime as Creighton advances, beating DePaul 85-81 as the Blue Jays advance to the Big East semifinals. And the Blue Demons end their season with a record of 14-19. What a gut punch of a loss here in the quarterfinal round for DePaul.
I'm watching Quentin Richardson, Terry Cummings, 2 of the greatest players in DePaul history, sitting there courtside there. 2 of what now looks like almost a sellout crowd here in Madison Square Garden. You just saw one of the best games of the Big East tournament play and college basketball. This is what college basketball is all about. Remember I said before this game started that no matter what happened, all these guys were going to remember this game for the rest of their lives. And boy, is that going to be true. A couple of the guys, you got Troy D'Amico just played his last college game. Isaiah Rivera just played his last college game. David Skogman not able to play tonight, but his college career is not over. And what an ending for these guys. They couldn't have done any more than they did tonight without winning this game. And I'm so proud of the way they performed. I got to give our coaches incredible credit for turning this team into a competitive team ready to compete and play against anybody in the Big East Conference. They had just played last night